New season, new entrants for Texas Tech football, and you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. There is an electricity here on the South Plains. The 100th season of Texas Tech football begins tonight inside a renovated Jones AT&T Stadium, and led out by the masked rider outside of the new South End Zone. Texas Tech opens up the year with Abilene Christian from the FCS. And here's our entrance, and we welcome you inside, along with the former Missouri defensive coordinator Dave Steckel. I'm Ted Emmerich. This is when it gets fun, right? Yeah, there were games last weekend, but this is the first full weekend of college football. 11 games today in the new look Big 12 stack. This is like Christmas, right?
This is unbelievable. I am so excited. You have goosebumps all over your body. Sold out crowd. First week of college football. It's exciting.
Texas Tech is fired up. They believe they should be in the hunt for the Big 12 title this year. And usually around here, the conversation begins at quarterback, and Baron Morton is vital. But Tech also happens to have one of the premier running backs in the country in Taj Brooks.
Taj Brooks is unbelievable. They call it Taj time here. And you see him there getting ready to play this game. Kenny Perry, their running back coach, he says unbelievable things about this guy, about his elusiveness, his power, his burst. But the thing that's really good that Kenny talks about is his character and how much he loves Texas Tech football.
Abilene Christian and Texas Tech have not met in 75 years, even though ACU is about a 2-hour drive from here. All that said, there is plenty of familiarity for ACU with Tech, and it starts with their head coach, Keith Patterson.
It does. Keith Patterson was the former defensive coordinator here at Tech, and he's got about 7 or 8 players that played here at Tech that's now down there with him. But what they have to do is manage distractions, stay focused, play one game at a time, and take the game where it takes them to.
7 starters for ACU transferred from Texas Tech, including the quarterback, Maverick McIver, and we will see McIver on the field first. Texas Tech winning the coin toss, deferring the option to the second half, and Reese Burkhart is ready to kick it away to open us up. Sellout crowd on hand here in Lubbock, and the 100th season of Texas Tech football is underway. ACU starts at the 25. So Maverick McIver, the 3-year starter, returns to where he began his career. In Tech, he finally gets to take a snap here at the Jones. He did not play in his 3 years here at Texas Tech.
It's been a long journey for him, but Maverick, he's done a really nice job. He's been a 3-year starter down there. I'm excited to see what he brings to this table here, because he always dreamed about playing in this stadium. Well, here's his chance.
The early part of his college career marred by injury, but now a leader for ACU in his 3rd year as the starter. Isaiah Johnson opens up at running back, and McIver to throw on first down. It's a deep shot, and Blaine Taylor could not come down with it. His big play target, the 5th-year senior, was battling A.J. McCarty, the Baylor transfer.
We talked to Coach before the game. He said they're going to challenge their defensive backs. But on the flip side of the checker match, Coach Tim DeRuiter said, we're going to press these receivers to see what they got going for them.
Now, Steck, ACU told us, hey, we love Blaine Taylor in contested catch situations, but McCarty made the play there. Now to the ground, and Johnson hit at the line and taken down by Jacob Rodriguez, the quarterback of the defense. Remember, he broke his leg week 1 last year, came back late in the season. Tech is glad to have him on the field to start this year.
He's their heartbeat. He's their inspiration inside there, playing middle linebacker. And you can see down there, nice little zone play. They ran it weak, got toes to the heels. Now, Abilene Christian's at a disadvantage at 3rd and 10.
We saw Ben Roberts in there as well, the freshman All-American from a year ago. Lines up right next to Rodriguez. 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. McIver, incomplete. Trying to hit Nehemiah Martinez, another former Red Raider. Ben Roberts supplied the pressure, and it's a 3-and-out from the Texas Tech defense.
That's not a good recipe right now, Ted, for Abilene Christian going 3-and-out. I think that's part of the management distractions, a little bit of jitters going on right there.
Josh Kelly, the Washington State transfer, ready to return this punt from Grant Nickel. Yes, another former Texas Tech player. Nickel had a great year last year for ACU, averaging 43 yards a punt. Low snap, Nickel handles it. And Kelly, who did not return punts last year at Washington State, makes the fair catch just inside the 30. It's a 46-yard punt. So here comes Baron Morton in the Texas Tech offense. Morton stepped in for the injured Tyler Shuck each of the last 2 years, and now that Shuck is at Louisville, Morton is the unquestioned starter.
And he's a good football player. He had battled injuries last year, but he's healthy, he's excited, and we're going to see where this young man takes him. But watch, they're going to go to Taj Brooks like we talked about in the open. Watch him go to Taj and keep feeding Taj.
Morton from Eastland, Texas, just outside of Abilene there in the big country. And of course, Brooks gets the call on first down. The fourth leading rusher in the nation a year ago pushes past the 35 for a gain of 7.
Nice little zone play. You see they're going quick on the ball. This air raid, they're going fast.
And right back to Brooks. And stopped just short of the first down marker by Isaiah Kelly, not a former Texas Tech Red Raider, but a Lubbock native from Coronado High School just down the road.
Okay, they're slowing it down a little bit here on third down, but they're going to keep feeding the thing. Don't be surprised on their third down situations that they're going to keep running the football, because Coach McGuire is a big analytics guy going for things on fourth down, Ted.
Third straight carry for Brooks. Don't have to worry about a fourth down conversion this time. Stopped at the 44. It's a pickup of 6.
They ran that split zone play with the tight end coming back, blocking the back edge, and feeding him weak to the sideline.
Yeah, Brooks number 4 in the country in rushing. Ollie Gordon, of course, had that tremendous year, won the Doak Walker Award. He's back for Oklahoma State. Zach Hitley, the offensive coordinator, said, man, I wish I had realized that Brooks was the focus of the offense. It took me until week 5 last year to realize it. Empty set on first down, and the first catch for Josh Kelly as a Red Raider. And it's another first down into ACU territory. Gain of 13.
Josh Kelly, you mentioned before, he's the transfer from Washington State. They got the first down. Now they're going fast again.
Morton off the pump and right back to Kelly, but a drop pass this time. Elijah Moffitt, the 4-year starter, was in coverage.
Moffitt was coming across the middle over there when he was running his little slant route. Got a little happy feet there. But the thing that's beautiful there with Morton is he's like a quick release. Very fast release. Let's keep an eye on that as we get going.
And Steck, you can already see how Kelly truly is going to be the catalyst of this passing game. That's what the coaches told us yesterday. He was the starter in the slot from day 1 of camp. Brooks to the outside. And nudged out inside the 40 by Harold West. It's a gain of 5 to set up third down and medium.
There's a great example of Brooks. Shows you everything right here. Coming up in the middle, he makes a great bounce to the outside. He accelerates, and then look at his toughness coming out of the bounds over there, knocking him down.
Yeah, what did Brooks tell us yesterday? His mentality, whenever he has the ball in his hands, I am not going down on first contact.
He just proved it there.
So third down for Texas Tech. And Morton completes it to Kelly for the first down at the 30-yard line.
Kelly's going to be one of these guys who's going to fit the mold of a H-back slot for Texas Tech.
Boy, they had some good ones over the years, too. Flag down, Morton, incomplete. Threw it into traffic, and another flag is down. So one right as the ball was snapped, and a flag down in the secondary as well. John Carlos Miller, the intended target.
Well, they got the guy jumping off sides on the first one there, right? It was a free play on the offsides. And the backside, I think it was a hold with Kelly coming up over the middle.
Tim Rich, our referee.
From the defense, offside defense number 90, that penalty is declined. Pass interference defense number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Now, so the pass interference goes against Elijah Moffitt.
You see the jump off sides there, smart by the center, snapping the football. Quarterback coming back across, throwing the ball. And he got there a little bit too Moffitt, who's a really good football player, got there a little too quick.
So how about this look now? Morton still at quarterback, but QB2 Cam Brown motions out. The transfer from West Georgia. Morton keeping the play alive and incomplete. Trying to find Caleb Douglas in the back of the end zone.
They went with that 2 quarterback system there. Put Brown in motion, and they wanted to sneak him up the sidelines, a little wheel route. Well defended by Abilene Christian.
Now Brown is going to have a role. He is technically a walk-on, transferred from a Division II school, but they love him in the running game. Just another wrinkle for this Texas Tech offense. Brooks rams into the middle of the line for a 1.5 yards.
They keep feeding Brooks a whole lot, but the one key that we got to keep a look at on this as this game goes on, Ted, is that offensive line is all new guys except for one.
3 transfers bolstering Texas Tech up front. 10th play of the drive here in motion up front.
79. False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's one of those transfers. Sterling Porsche from Middle Tennessee, started 25 games the last 2 years.
Yeah, Porsche got a little excited there. He wanted to get going with that snap before it happened. Got to focus down here.
So 3rd and 8 becomes 3rd and 13. And they do run it with Brooks, perhaps to set up a 4th down conversion. They won't need it. Brooks is in for the touchdown. It is still Taj time here in Lubbock.
We talked to Coach Chitley beforehand on 3rd downs. Great push from the offensive line there. The thing that's impressive here is all 3 receivers to the trip side. Excellent job of blocking on the perimeter, and Brooks did the rest, going into the end zone.
Texas Tech will alternate kickers on extra points and field goals. The competition between Reese Burkhart and Gino Garcia continues. Garcia gets the first crack here on this PAT, and he drills it. So a 7-0 lead for Texas Tech to open 2024. Taj Brooks came back, and Taj is back in the end zone for Texas Tech. Taj Brooks told us yesterday that he thought for sure he was gone to the NFL after his stellar junior season. But he got a 5th round grade from NFL draft evaluators. He decided, why not come back for a 5th year? Steck, you see his career numbers. The all-time rushing record here at Texas Tech is in his sights.
It's in his sights. I'm sure that's part of the reason he came back. 5th round grade. He wanted to come back and prove, hey, I'm more worthy than that. And as right now, coming off the play here, they won 71 yards. 40 of them was his. He's well on his way to show those scouts that he can go play at the next level.
He told us, I know I can be better in all facets, especially finishing longer runs. He worked on his speed. We already know about his power. Burkhart kicks away, and a chance to return here for Rovon Banks Jr. Flag is down from ahead of the play as Banks doesn't even reach the 20.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 13. Half the distance to the goal line. 1st down.
Now Blaine Taylor, Keith Patterson's top receiver out there on the kick return unit, is the culprit. Now, so ACU went 3 and out on the first possession of the game, now in a hole, and former Red Raider Maverick McIver back on the field.
This is not the start that Coach Patterson wanted. You know, defensively, they've gotten 3 penalties already. Now they got one on the kickoff and put them in a disadvantage here. They've got to get their composure under wraps here, bud.
Starting from the 9 after the penalty, and Sam Hicks with his first carry as an ACU Wildcat. Up close to the 15, transfer from Central Michigan, Sam Hicks.
Sam Hicks had a nice little burst, good movement by the offensive line. They're really solid. Their two guards in center have lots and lots of experience, 3-year starters. And you can see that where Hicks bursted up through that B gap.
Now coaches believe that Hicks can score from just about anywhere. He's got a lot of juice. Swing pass, caught, and Hut Graham, another Texas Tech transfer, tumbles ahead to the 17-yard line. Beg your pardon, Trey Cleveland. By the way, another former Texas Tech receiver made the catch instead.
Another one. They went unbalanced there. That means they put all the formation to the left side. They ran a counter weak on the fake and threw a bubble over to Trey on the backside. Could have got some hay if he could have got some blocking on the perimeter there.
McIver to throw on 3rd and short, and off his back foot, he finds his man Martinez for the first down. Gain of 9, Ben Roberts on the tackle.
Ted, right there was your classic air raid concept on 3rd and short. See the double drag, you see the tailback, both of them cross. It's called a mesh route. Picks the receiver automatically, and he's open in the flat there.
It's got to be so tough as a defensive coach like yourself, how to game plan for that over and over again when you face an air raid offense.
It's difficult, but there's ways to get around it.
McIver skips it into Cleveland.
Well-designed play by Coach Bowie there on the naked, get him on the perimeter. He had the receiver open there on the comeback, but he just was a little too fast on it. I think McIver's got to settle down here a little bit. He's at home, coming back into Lubbock where he's from. He's got to do it. See Coach Patterson on the sidelines. He's going, let's go, keep those first downs going, man.
He was the defensive coordinator for 3 years under Matt Wells. He was asked in the offseason, is this a revenge game? He said, revenge for what? I had a great experience here in Lubbock. Oh, Hicks is blown up, ball is out, and has Texas Tech recovered? DeBraylon Carroll has come away with it, and the ball belongs to the Red Raiders. The transfer from Rice, D.B. Carroll, makes an immediate impact.
Coming out with a quick draw play. They run double A-gap pressure in the middle. There's a heck of a strip there by Ben Roberts. And then our man jumps on the ball. Braylon Carroll gets the takeaway, and they're already in the red zone.
D.B. Carroll, native of Duncanville, Texas, just south of Dallas. Yes, hand him the belt. He's the champ now.
He's the champ now until the next takeaway. Good for him. That's excitement, man.
So an immediate red zone opportunity for the Red Raiders. Morton zips it. That's caught by Coy Aiken, the top returning receiver for Texas Tech, and he has it inside the 5, 1st and goal.
Coy Aiken and quarterback Morton, great chemistry together from last year's carrying on to this year also.
Right back to Aiken, this time for the touchdown on the dance too. The mind meld between Morton and Aiken continues.
And they got their little dance step going over there in the end zone. Excellent job. RPO here. Counter fake, 3-step, boom. Throws it in the back corner. Aiken goes up and gets it with both hands, and he gets his foot in the ground. That's awesome.
Again, Tech rotating kickers on PATs and extra points. So Reese Burkhart with this funky formation here. Look out as everyone is shifting around. They snap it to the up man. Jalen Conyers takes it in for 2. Conyers ran the Wildcat at Arizona State the last 2 years. And Conyers punches it in for the 2-point conversion here.
Here on the touchdown, see a little wiggle move, a little fade, handover, catches on top of the end zone, and he does a nice job of getting his foot in the end zone, and now they're excited.
Well, it might be an FBS versus FCS game. Do not call it preseason. Texas Tech is going to be aggressive, and at times they will still reach into the bag of tricks. How about the two-point conversions, Tech?
Kenny Perry went right up his sleeve. A little muddle huddle here. Moved the kicker and punter over. Snapped it over to the holder, and just ran a outside zone play where they were outnumbered by mans and get the two-point play very quickly. Good design by Kenny Perry, the special teams coordinator.
Conyers, the tight end. Nice pickup in the portal from Arizona State. Has experience as a Wildcat quarterback, and he showed it there. As Burkhardt booms it out of the back of the end zone. Now, Maverick McIver, again, spent his first 3 years of his college career here at Texas Tech. He was originally recruited by Cliff Kingsbury. Before Kingsbury was fired, he joined the program under Matt Wells, transferred to ACU when Keith Patterson went to join the Wildcats as well. Yes, he was going to be fired up to come in here, and listen, he's 2 of 5 for 12 yards. He's got to still manage that emotion, right?
He has to manage that emotion. He needs to get a little help with the offensive line. The offensive line's got to do a nice, better job of protecting him in the pocket, number one. But number two, they need to establish a run game.
Penalty will be enforced. It's first down.
Sorry, I was talking when he was, but they need to settle down and they need to establish a run game and get the ground game going a little bit and use some clock and obviously protect the ball.
And a legal substitution there for ACU, so 1st and 15 to start the drive. Here's Rovon Banks Jr. Disappears into the crowd and he gains 3 yards. Junior from Tulsa.
That's what they have to do here now. They need to establish run and go back to the old adage of the air raid, where you're going running the football and running the RPOs, which is a run pass option off of it. And that was a nice job by Banks. Banks is a very explosive, quick player.
Martinez in motion, blitz off the edge, and a flag down as they were trying to set up the swing.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that's on the center. Tay Yanta spent 1 year at Texas Tech himself. Again, one of those 6 offensive starters for ACU who transferred from Tech.
They got to settle down here, Ted. I know it's halfway through the first quarter here, but they still have their jitters. They're losing their composure, and what's hurting them right now are the penalties.
A toss to Banks. Trying to find some room along the sideline and pushed out near the 25. Castles and Kinney with some nice blocks. So 3rd down for Abilene Christian.
Coach Bowie, I think that's a good call, Coach Booty. Try to get back on track a little bit with that 2nd down call. 3rd and 8, it's more of a manageable type of situation here. What you got to expect now, Coach DeRuiter, is to press those receivers, and I wouldn't be surprised if he brought a little heat.
So they mark Banks out at the 22. 3rd and 8 for Abilene Christian. Cleveland comes in motion. McIver whistles it, and it is caught. Hut Graham, who was a safety in the Texas Tech program, converted to receiver, moving the chains with a gain of 19.
And here they go quick now. Nice job with it's called a climb over route. Nice accuracy.
McIver keeps for the first time, and he spills to the 43. CJ Baskerville there to meet him. Short game. You know, ACU and especially McIver so excited to be in this air raid coordinated by Rick Bowie. You see the new offensive coordinator who came from Division II, Valdosta State. Bowie told us this week he never got the chance to talk to the late, great Mike Leach. Bowie considers Dana Holgerson his mentor. Of course, Holgerson, a former assistant here at Tech. Banks plows ahead for 2 more. Set up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, to piggyback that comment, you know, he is a Dana disciple, and that's where he actually met Coach Patterson when they were both at West Virginia. He was a GA at West Virginia. He came from Dickinson College. I have fond memories of my man at Dickinson College, one of my first coaching jobs back there where they were the red. And he's a product of that environment, and he's going to be a heck of a football coach as he keeps matriculating through the ranks here.
As Bowie told us this week, hey, everyone runs the air raid right now. It's the same steak. Everyone puts on different seasoning. How will he season this steak on 3rd and 6 with a first down?
Excellent job there. Coach Bowie gets him in a bunch of linemen, puts all 3 receivers together in a pack there. When they come out and they disperse, all right, they come off and disperse with each other. And I call it a little flat flag snack. You got a guy going up top, a guy coming over the middle, and a guy sits down right there at the sticks where they make an easy completion and move the sticks for him.
Now, Javon Gibson came down with the catch. And Rick Bowie and the offense are cooking something up right now in Texas Tech territory. Flip it to Martinez on the end around. And Martinez is inside the 35. Nice block by Brian Henry, the tight end. Gain of 11.
Smart play. You get into the plus territory. You get a first down. They go quick on the fast tempo and run a nice little reverse there to Martinez, who, oh, by the way, played at Texas Tech.
Again, if you're playing announcer bingo at home, we're going to say it a lot. Former Red Raider, now with Abilene Christian. Banks hitting the backfield and trying to spin forward. A.J. McCarty was there along with a lot of his friends. No gain.
Good job. They got into a very bunch set there, and Coach Tim DeRuiter, their defensive coordinator, he brought the nickel off the edge there, A.J. Did a nice job of bending to the ball. Bending means right down behind the line of scrimmage there. Makes a nice tackle for barely a yard.
Now, McCarty didn't play in the regular season last year. He only played special teams in the bowl game for Tech. He didn't enter the portal from Baylor in time, so he had to sit out. 9th play of the drive. McIver hit as he throws it. Wide open man is Jed Castles, and Castles is in for the touchdown. Former Red Raider to former Red Raider for the score.
Yep. I'll tell you what, Ted, my man, you're going to confuse everybody when you're talking about Red Raiders. They went to a trips alignment with a nub on the backside. They ran out and up with a tight end against Tim DeRuiter's quarter half over there. The corner takes a peek back in the end zone. He didn't funnel him inside to the receiver, and you can see he goes up on the sidelines, makes a nice catch. We saw that young man before the game. He's a big human being with big paws, man.
List him at 6'7", 235. He looks the part. Division II transfer Ritzy Vase, the new place kicker coming over from Midwestern State in Wichita Falls. He adds the extra point. It's 15-7.
He's coming up over top. He's wide open. He's coming down the sideline there. Nice little move there. Takes him, drags him into the end zone. Touchdown, and they're back in the ball game.
This has to feel good for Jed Castles. Spent his first year of college football here at Texas Tech, and a few years later he returns to Lubbock, and he puts ACU on the board for the first time this season, capping off a 9-play, 80-yard drive. ACU needed some jumper cables for their offense after those first 2 drives. Instead, they found them.
They did. They really did. They settled down. I think what really happened is McIver did a nice job of settling himself down and was a calming force for the rest of the football team. And this is just what the doctor needed to get a good remedy here of scoring that touchdown play.
Sophomore Kyler Meskey kicks it away. Dre McCray, one of the most lethal return men in the country, will not get a chance here. It's a touchback.
Touchback on the kickoff.
More exciting Big 12 action for you next Saturday right here on ESPN Plus, all in prime time. West Virginia and U-Albany, one of the great teams out of the FCS. UCF, Sam Houston, 6:30. We will be in Fort Worth, Tech, TCU and Long Island. 10 Eastern, Arizona and Northern Arizona.
I'm looking forward to go see those Horned Frogs.
A big comeback win on the farm at Stanford last night.
Big win for them. Big win for them.
Josh Hoover and company 1-0 and ready for their home opener next week. Texas Tech kicking off the season against ACU, and Baron Morton on the keeper to open up this drive. Gain of 3 on the play.
A lot of moving parts on that play with the motion. They go with the motion and they run back weak. Baron keeps it himself.
I think every Texas Tech fan probably holds their breath anytime Morton keeps. Remember the shoulder injury from last year? He played through a grade 3 sprain that he suffered in September. Just couldn't throw the deep ball as a result the rest of the year. Here's the quick hitter to Kelly. And a first down across the 35. And so Morton told us yesterday, Steck, hey, I know that I have to be more mindful and just take the easy throw when it's there.
And there it was. It was a good play action fake. Got the ball out quick to Kelly and got the first down.
Taj Brooks opened up the scoring, bouncing it to the outside. And Brooks lowering the shoulder across the 45. Jameer Dudley taking the brunt of that hit. Gain of 9.
The thing I was really impressed with that run was how patient he was to set up that crackback block by the receiver.
Now a screen for Caleb Douglas, the Florida transfer. Boy, the coaches are really excited about Douglas as well. He moves the chains. 6'4", big target. No, Aaron Morton has to tie his shoes.
Big target, big hands. But the thing that the coaches all talked about is he could blow the top off of you down the field with his speed.
Something that they didn't really have last year, that true deep threat. Cameron Valdez checks in at running back, giving Brooks a breather. And Valdez has the ball. Down to the 35, gain of 6.
You talk about the air raid offense and what, everybody thinks throw the ball. Has a nice downhill play going right at them, right up the middle, and they come right back at it.
Morton to Aiken. And Aiken slips the tackle. Touchdown ×2. Morton and Aiken for the score.
Ted, that's one of the worst feelings in the world when you're on defense, when you hear the team's band play.
Let's see if Reese Burkhardt actually gets a chance to kick the extra point this time. Conyers ran it in for 2 last time, so they run Burkhardt back out there, and he converts. 22-7 after the 35-yard bullet from Morton to Aiken, and now he's got the championship.
He does. They go with an RPO here. They had a slant corner, and the safety, as you see there, chasing him down, didn't get over top of it. He went from a slant to a go route, simple little release. Aiken grabs it, gets a second touchdown for the day. They needed Jamar Dudley to get over top on that one. But like you said, they give the belt for touchdowns and takeaways, huh? That's awesome.
One of the cool traditions you see across college football, those props, whether they be for turnovers, touchdowns, and whatnot. So Coy Aiken with his second touchdown catch. You know, Steck, I had a chance to call his state championship game, his final game in high school at Stephenville, Texas. At the time, he suits up for that last game in high school football. His offers were Tarleton State, UIW, and Lamar, all from the FCS. He goes out as a huge game. Joey McGuire offers him shortly after, and here he is, now a playmaker at Texas Tech.
That's the crazy thing about recruiting, Ted, is you can measure size, speed, height, weight, but you can't measure the heart. And that kid's got a big heart, loves football. Loves football, the coaches said.
And Morton and Aiken always on the same page.
There's a good picture right there, as you see that they changed in college football now. With Morton sitting next to Coach Kitley, they got the iPads now with the technology on the sidelines so they can watch the plays, discuss it before they go back out on the field again. So that's a new added dimension with college football nowadays with the iPad on the sidelines.
And you think of the new technology, ACU is not using the in-helmet communication for this game. Morton fires, it's caught. First down for Trey Cleveland. ACU had the opportunity to do so, playing an FBS opponent. They decided not to invest in that. They can do that for a full season in the FCS starting next year. They thought it'd be too expensive this year just for one game.
Yeah, I've been down that road too before with the financial budgets that it displays.
So ACU is back in the Stone Ages. They are using signals. Swing it to J.J. Henry, former top recruit, transfer from Ole Miss. And Henry goes down just across the 45, gain of 7.
J.J. Henry's a very quick player. You see how they're still signaling there on the sidelines. But going back to the helmet communication, you know, Texas Tech was the guinea pig during the bowl season, and it got to use it. But 3 players used to have the headsets in their ear. Here now you only have 1, so you still have to use your signals.
Late stages of the first quarter. Johnson trying to turn it to the perimeter. Fumble! And Johnson got back on top of it. But a big loss on the play. Mike Dingle made the hit.
Beautiful hit, wraps. Now, nice job of getting back up on that football, because that would have been a catastrophe if they would have got a takeaway to go back down and score again here before the quarter's over.
AC already lost 1 fumble in this first quarter, which has come to an end here in Lubbock. Year 3 for Joey McGuire and Texas Tech. And they're up 22-7 over Abilene Christian. Taj Brooks got it started. You better set your clock to Taj time again here in 2024. It's a 22-7 lead for the Red Raiders here in the season opener. Season opener here in Lubbock, and the first meeting between Texas Tech and Abilene Christian in 75 years. A 22-7 lead for Texas Tech over Keith Patterson, former Red Raider assistant, and ACU. Ted Emmerich, Dave Steckel, our entire crew. 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats to start the second quarter. Maverick McIver moving the chains with the completion. He found J.J. Henry for the first down.
Really nice by McIver. He started off really bumpy. He was 0-2 starting off here, and now he just went 9 for 10 completions here. Nice little settle route at the sticks. Good execution.
Now McIver looks right at home back here at Texas Tech, floating it for Henry again, and Henry comes down with it. Another first down, just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 15.
Well executed. They went with the RPO with a fake bubble. See the little fake stalk block by Henry, and he releases off on an outside fade. Beautiful execution, nice accuracy by McIver.
Maverick McIver just is the perfect Texas quarterback name anyway. He throws it away this time. Don't you think, Maverick McIver?
You know, you're absolutely right. I thought when I started preparing for that, and I said, okay, I'm going to West Texas. I expected him to come riding in here on a horse with his cowboy hat and his 6 shooters. Classic name.
It's from the Concho Valley, San Angelo, Texas. And was so fired up to come back here to Texas Tech. Again, like you mentioned, Steck started 0 for 2. You see the total numbers now. He's found a groove. McIver completes another one, this time to Trey Cleveland. And ACU is in the red zone with a first down. That goes for 18.
It really does. That was a good job of him keeping his eyes down the field when he felt the pressure. You know, when you evaluate quarterbacks and they start scrambling, do they scramble to run or do they scramble to throw? And I think McIver, he likes to scramble to throw. He kept his eyes down the field. He missed the tight end right over the ball there for the first down, but kept his eyes downfield, made a nice completion.
They take the tight end off the field here. 4 receivers in the pattern. On first down. Graham the motion man. McIver incomplete. Cleveland could not haul it in against Jalen Peoples, who's playing a bigger role to start the year than you would have thought. Texas Tech top corner Braylon Lux out with a thigh injury that he suffered late in the week.
It was, and that's tough on Lux because Coach DeRuiter thought he's going to be really special this year, but he'll get him back for the rest of the Big 12 play. Trey Cleveland there was a nice job running up the seam route. He got to come down with that because I thought that was really good accuracy on Maverick's part.
Castles, who has the touchdown for ACU, in motion. Johnson barreling ahead. Isaiah Johnson's inside the 10. And it's 1st and goal for ACU. He split Rodriguez and McAlpine's tackles.
What they're doing here is they're running the old counter OT, both guard and tackle pull. You got the kick out, the lead up on the linebacker you just mentioned, and he takes it right up down the middle with Isaiah Johnson.
And Johnson, a Lubbock native himself, from Cooper High School, about 10 miles to the south, a transfer from North Texas. 1st and goal from the 7. Johnson again, and taken down just short of the goal line by Rodriguez.
Nice job by Rodriguez making a solo tackle there. What they did was they blitzed the double A gap there, and they blocked it well. Good job by the interior of the offensive line, but Rodriguez does a nice job of coming over top and making that tackle and saving a touchdown.
Abilene Christian on the welcome mat again. 2nd and goal. 11th play of the drive. 3rd straight carry for Johnson. He is in the end zone for the touchdown. There is a flag down, though, in the end zone.
Illegal substitution. Defense, more than 11 players on the field at the snap. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So Isaiah Johnson caps off the drive, and ACU is back in the end zone.
Nice design here by Coach Bowie. What he did on that last play was he went in an unbalanced set. So it's called a nub side. You just had a guard and a tackle on the backside. And Texas Tech did not do a good job of overshifting on that, Ted. And there was a free gap open.
Ritzy Vase line drive kick is through. So ACU back to within a score.
Nice job coming up inside. Nice cutback by Johnson. You see the open gap because of the unbalanced set.
College football back, the NFL back next weekend. From 123, Christian McCaffrey of the 49ers, to another 23. Isaiah Johnson enjoying his homecoming so far back here in Lubbock. The Abilene Christian running back with the 2-yard touchdown, and Steck, ACU showing some fight here.
They absolutely are. They've settled down. They're doing a really nice job of managing what they can manage. MacGyver settled down. But plays like this right now that we're witnessing on this long touchback by
Dre McCray, the top return man in the Big 12 a year ago, takes it all the way past the ACU 30.
You need special teams like that just kind of blows the top off you, that demoralizes the defense. You go down and score, you're making a game out of it. And then Coach Perry's special teams here starts taking it up the sideline, breaks it back inside. Beautiful ball leverage with the key straight arm. Now watch this, little wiggle move, little move outside again. He keeps his feet moving. I had that young man when he played against Austin Peay, and they played Alabama 2 years ago, and he did that to Alabama too. That kid's a really good football player.
A 74-yard return by McCray, and Baron Morton in the offense set up at the 26 of ACU. How about the pass to Taj Brooks, lined up as a wideout here. Doesn't go very far, gain of a yard, as Jordan Mukes and Will Schaefer bring him down.
That's the thing I really like about Taj, though, also, is good running back. We all know that. We've been beating that drum. Very excellent hands out of the backfield. Nice job at catching it, locking it away, and trying to get a couple yards.
Again, an empty set for Morton. And another screen, this time to Caleb Douglas. And Douglas marked out near the 20.
What they did there is they got a bunch formation, and it was FSL. FSL stands for they put the formation into the sideline, FSL. And what they did was they threw a quick bubble out there and let those two big guys block the perimeter. And as you see, they got about 5 yards out of that. Now they got a nice 3rd and 5 manageable. I would not be shocked if they run the football here, especially out of this unbalanced set, Ted.
And Brooks is right back alongside Morton. That's what they do, and Brooks couldn't bounce it. David Oki, the junior from Houston, showing a lot of promise up front during camp, and he makes a play there.
Nice job using his quickness coming up inside there, hands. I like this guy. He's a leader. He's got quickness. He's got strength. And that's a very nice play using his quickness and his hands right there.
Texas Tech opts for the field goal try on 4th down. Gino Garcia, 16 of 22 a year ago. He missed 3 field goals in the season opening loss to Wyoming before straightening things out. And Garcia nails this one.
Nice points there, Ted. But the thing is, they got to look at that's a win for Abilene Christian because they held them to a field goal.
Well, the last time Texas Tech was on the field, Shreveport, Louisiana, the Independence Bowl, and a big win over Cal. Baron Morton, the dime to Coy Aiken at over 100 yards, a 34-14 win. So in the first 2 years under Joey McGuire, Stead, 2 winning seasons, 2 bowl victories. The next step, according to McGuire, play meaningful games in November with Texas Tech in the conference title hunt. We don't want to be playing games just to be bowl eligible.
Absolutely. This is his 3rd year, and I think the athletic director, Mr. Holcutt, this is a home run hire here. He's a successful high school coach from Cedar Hill, won state championships, comes in here to Texas Tech, goes back-to-back bowl games. Now, the thing he said is we got to start fast in the season because 2 years in a row they were 3-3. They got to come out of the gates fast.
In fact, 1-3 last season with 3 one-score losses. But the schedule sets up so well for them as ACU will start at the 25. Texas Tech's going to avoid the top 2 teams in the Big 12 preseason poll, Utah, K-State. They won't play Kansas either. A lot of people believe that Jalen Daniels, Devin Neal and company could certainly contend this year. And 4 of the first 5 games for Texas Tech are right here at the Jones,
which could give them a great start going to where they want to go. The other thing that was astounding to me was, Texas Tech, we talk about their bowl games, they lead the Big 12 in most bowl games, especially now that Texas and Oklahoma have left.
Well, first they'd love to straighten out their defense a little bit, giving up back-to-back touchdowns after coming up with stops, including a turnover on the first 2 possessions. There's a pass to Blaine Taylor, knocked out of bounds at the 29, gain of 4. Marion Horn was in coverage.
Ted, I got to tell you, man, that Blaine Taylor guy, I had him 2 years ago at Mizzou. And he was a little bit young back then at the time, but he is just blossoming and blossoming. And I can see that young man having an opportunity in the NFL someday.
At 6'5", 215, he's got the frame. McIver throwing deep to Cleveland in double coverage, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, that was a 50-50 ball going up in the air like that. Cleveland has to come down. Now they got a penalty there.
Looks like a hold against ACU.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Yeah, 2nd penalty on the center, Yanta.
Yeah, that big old dude, the center there, he's getting a little antsy, grabs in there, pushing the guy. Oh, he does a nice little wrap there. Here's a little trivia for I used to play center, and I used to hold before holding was fashionable. So sometimes I can't blame that big guy in there.
They never called it on you, though.
Oh, they called it on me constantly.
So back up the Wildcats to inside their own 20. Blitz up the middle, and here on the draw is Rovon Banks. So a nice play call with Texas Tech sending pressure. It's a run of 12 yards.
Coach Bowie made an excellent call on that. They go with that little draw play on 2nd and long. He's a get back on track guy, which I can explain later. But the thing that was nice here, they came up the A gap, and we were just giving our guy Yanta a hard time about blocking, but he made a nice block on that let it come up the middle for a big gain. Now they got to capitalize.
3rd and 5. McIver zips it to Taylor for the 1st down. Nice catch in traffic. Rodriguez, the linebacker, was lurking, and McIver to Taylor, picking up 6.
Taylor made a nice job of trying to push the reception pattern upfield, broke it up inside and used his body frame to box him out to get that 1st down. Nice little controlled throw over there to the short side of the field into the boundary.
Back to the ground game, and Banks. And he twirls past Brendan Jordan for a gain of 2.
I think Rovon on that last play, Banks, our tailback, he needed to come back and bend that back following the tight end there. There was a backside B gap there. If he would have hit that, that could have hit for a big game back there. He's going to want to have that one back.
Yeah, Keith Patterson's team couldn't have had a worse start offensively. 3 and out. Then they lose a fumble. But since then, they've cranked it up and overcame a penalty already on this drive. This won't help. Negative play. Banks taken down by Harvey Dyson III. Texas Tech coaches say he has been the most consistent edge player during camp. He's ready for a breakthrough season.
Really nice job here. They run the counter OT. Center doesn't get the block back. Nice bend there by Dyson coming off the edge. Tim DeRuiter brought two guys off the backside, one for the bend and one for the quarterback. Good design scheme-wise by Coach Tim DeRuiter, the defensive coordinator.
Now 3rd and 11. McIver lobs it. Separation, but incomplete. Too much on it from McIver as he tried to connect with Taylor.
A little excited there, Ted, on that throw there. He overthrew the young man, had him wide open. I think there was a little miscommunication here. The DB squat and went to jam, came up on side the field on him, and he's going to want to wish that he had that one back.
Steck, you're right. Taylor beat Devin Cromwell, and McIver just couldn't locate him.
The thing I'm really happy about Abilene Christian right here is they came in with a bunch of jitters. They're 2 hours down the road. They're playing up in a level. A lot of these guys are coming back home. They've settled down, and I think they're a little bit more focused right now playing.
Eckel punts it to Kelly. Oh, he called for the fair catch there. He seemed emotional. So, oh, can I run with it? No, you called for the fair catch. That's where it is. 37-yard punt. Tech has the ball back right after this. Well, it took 2 years of construction and $242 million. The new South End Zone building and the Womble Football Center here at Texas Tech. It is gleaming. It will be the largest contiguous football building in the nation when the football center opens in about a month. Talked with project manager Randy Cody yesterday. He said that he and his team were up to their ears in alligators. They were cleaning up to the last minute, but they got it done. As Texas Tech takes over at the 30-yard line, and here is that new South End Zone, Steck. Absolutely beautiful.
It's the Taj Mahal. It's absolutely beautiful, but I don't know about that project manager. I'm in Florida. He don't know anything about alligators out here in West Texas. That dude.
Back to Brooks on 2nd and 6. And Will Schaefer makes the ankle tackle after a gain of a yard. 3rd and 5. Tech has scored on all 4 of their possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Big play coming up here for the ACU defense.
I think it's absolutely critical. They need to try to force a punt here and get this thing situated around, because we're getting into close to the middle 8, which is 4 minutes to the first half and 4 minutes to the second half. And they don't want Texas Tech to go down here and score on the football here. So it's absolutely a critical down here, but they got to get off the field here, Abilene Christian.
Brooks on 3rd and 5, lowering the shoulder for the first down. Ran into Jameer Dudley, didn't matter. You're not bringing down Taj Brooks that easily. Gain of 8.
I think Coach Kitley's doing a really nice job here on his 3rd downs as we go fast here again. And
whoops.
A little false start there. He was off to the races.
False start. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Josh Kelly was ready to run that vertical.
He was ready to go. He wanted to show everybody, hey, I got some speed here, man. It was like the Olympics, so that gun went off twice because of a false start.
One more and you're DQ'd.
Hey, the one point I was going to try to make, slowed it down a little bit, is Coach Kidley was talking to us, and I don't think Abilene's prepared for this, is they're running the ball on 3rd down. And Coach Patterson's calling pass rush defenses, getting upfield vertical.
So on 1st and 15, here is Kelly on the screen. And Kelly makes up the penalty yardage, out of bounds near midfield. Gain of 12.
Kelly's got good hands and excellent quickness. Sometimes I think if you get inside it with a phone booth for that guy, you're not going to catch that kid. He's quicker than a hiccup, man.
He was the leading receiver for Washington State. See, tapped his chest, sorry, man, for that penalty, but made it up with the screenplay to follow. Perfect fit in this system. He ran the exact same offense under Ben Arbuckle at Washington State. Arbuckle was with Zach Kitley at Western Kentucky a few years ago. Brooks bending it to the perimeter. And Taj Brooks has the first down, carrying it inside the 35 of ACU.
This is the thing I like about Taj Brooks is he forces it up inside. The hole was closed. He actually bumped into his offensive lineman, but he bounces it outside, and then you saw his acceleration, his speed to get around the edge. He's got power and speed.
Gain of 16. Brooks comes out. True freshman Cameron Dickey from Austin checks in. He has been turning heads all offseason. And Dickey crashes across the 30. It's a gain of 5. They called Dickey Captain America. The coaches told us even the seniors noticed him very early in camp, like, who is this guy? He is built at 5'10", 215, and he's got breakaway speed. And a timeout for Abilene Christian here.
First charge time out of the half at Abilene Christian. 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was being used a really good time out there. Look at Nick Colt there. Got a lot of experience coaching BCS, was at USC with Pete Carroll. Heck of a defensive line coach. And he's talking to his guys how they got to make a stop here. Going back to Dickey, they call him Captain America, the Avengers, man. My grandson loves the Avengers.
I bet.
Okay, and I don't follow that kind of stuff, but I do now. But the thing that's unbelievable that I noticed when I was at practice, and they did their run-through on Friday, his explosiveness. And I talked to Coach Perry, the running back coach, afterwards. I said, who's that guy? That's Dickey. That's the freshman. True freshman. Did a nice job of recruiting him and getting him over here to Lubbock.
Brooks is back in at running back. Already 80 yards and a touchdown on 12 carries. Tech as a team averaging better than 6 yards per carry. Morton with plenty of time, but he's swallowed up in the end. Sacked by Luke Gams, a sophomore from Wichita Falls. It's a loss of 7.
Well, we just talked about Coach Holt getting after his boys here. You see a good pressure. They run a double ET twist, bring another guy up in the middle, and they push the pocket. Good coverage on the back end, and they get the sack.
Gams had a sack and a half last year as a freshman. Now sacked open this season. Morton dials it deep, incomplete. Too tall for Kelly, who was in a crowd. And it's 4th down.
A little bit overthrown, obviously we saw, but the thing that was really good about that, it was overthrown because it was excellent coverage on the back end there with the safety and the inside nickel running with them up the field.
Texas Tech leads the nation in 4th down conversions over the last 2 years. Not a surprise to see them lining up here, even on 4th and 13. And now another timeout.
Christian, 30 seconds.
Yeah, ACU clearly not ready here.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake defensively by Coach Patterson from the standpoint of that they didn't substitute. So, meaning Texas Tech did not substitute. They tried to get their guys on 4th and 13, get to his pass rush package. So they're going fastball. They don't substitute. So you see the officials off the ball there, comes back up off the ball, and they're trying to substitute. They don't have to hold the play.
Yeah.
So he has to call a timeout, which was a good timeout. You don't want to give him a cheap 4th and 13. Critical point in the game as far as it can't get out of hand here. This is a big 4th down play here for Texas Tech.
Tech, especially with the Red Raiders getting the ball to start the second half.
Exactly.
So 4th and 13 in plus territory. Yeah, Joey McGuire is going to roll the dice. Morton wants it all. Conyers. He's got it for the touchdown. Jalen Conyers wins the jump ball, and Morton is money again.
You talk about a beautiful throw in the corner of the end zone with accuracy. He sets up in the pocket, throws it where only his guy can get a little push off there. Conyers makes the grab. I don't know if he got that foot inside there after looking at that. They're going quick to kick it.
It will be reviewed. You hear the boos here in Lubbock.
Yeah, they got that.
I'm with you, Steck. It deserves a closer look.
It deserves a closer look. I took my eyes off it quickly myself. And typically, this is what I love about football players. Right away, I was in. They're always going to tell you, I was in.
Of course.
They're always in.
No, I really didn't have it. Yeah, they're right.
Yeah. No, my bad.
Yeah, no.
They're going to take a peek at that thing. It's going to be curious what they say. I don't know if he got that toe in or not.
And Conyers had to go sky high for that. Let's take a closer look.
Got a little push off there. Excellent coverage. Hand fighting. No call there. Reaches back. Grabs the ball.
Well, left foot. Does he have control when that left foot is planted? Is the question.
True. Now, this is a better angle because I couldn't see with Moffitt in my way there. He's got the ball.
Yeah.
The foot's down, but does he have control? See, the foot comes up there. I don't know if they're going to say he had complete control on that. His foot was down when it touched his hands, but I'm not sure if they're going to say he has control right there. Man. See, the foot comes up there then, and then he pulls the ball into his body. But I got to tell you something, I'm only like 25%. That's why I'm up here and I'm not an official.
And Steck, remember, called a touchdown on the field. Is there indisputable video evidence to overturn that?
Well, I'm a defensive guy. I'm saying, he doesn't have
of
control
course you
on it.
are.
You know, being an old DC. Good hand fight. I'm glad they didn't call that. But see there, I don't know if he had control because the foot comes up too fast. But either way, it's a heck of a catch, number one. And number two, that's quick chemistry because, you know, Conyers and Morton, they knew each other since third grade. How about that? Third grade.
Yeah, Baron Morton was telling us yesterday they went to these air-it-out camps, a lot of 7-on-7. They're kids. They always stayed in touch. And we're about to get the call here. Is it a touchdown?
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
Steck, you know more football than I could ever hope to know. I just didn't think there was enough there to overturn it.
I agree with you. I can understand because they called it a touchdown. I completely understand. But Coach Patterson, if you bring him up here, he's going to agree with Steck. Steck still says his foot was up too fast.
So it is a touchdown for Morton and Conyers. Childhood friends reuniting here at Texas Tech. And Burkhart adds the extra point.
This is a situation where coaches talk about that middle eight right now, which is important so the fans can understand what I'm talking about. The middle eight is the last 4 minutes of the second quarter going into halftime and the first 4 minutes of the second half. They call that the middle eight. And in this situation, they just scored within that 4 minute period. And oh, by the way, if they're going to stop here, Texas Tech gets the ball starting the second half where they'll want to go out and capitalize again. It's tough as a defensive guy too, Ted, as I'm rambling here. 4th and 15 hurts you. Yeah. Your heart breaks a little bit on those kind of situations.
Baron Morton, Joey McGuire, Texas Tech, never shy on 4th down. They will always keep the pedal to the floor. And it ends up with a touchdown here to stretch the lead to 32-14.
In that situation, though, because all these guys are analytical guys, which I believe partially in analytics, you know, you still got to go by your gut, in my opinion. But that was a situation there where the field goal was too long, and if you punt it and it goes into the end zone, you're only going to gain about 7 yards. So I think that was a really smart decision on Coach McGuire's part.
Burkhart over the head of Banks and a touchback.
Touchback on the kickoff.
You know, Texas Tech got out to a 15-0 lead early in this one. McIver and ACU fired back here in McIver's return to Lubbock, where he spent his first 3 years of college football. Cut it to a score at 22-14, but 10 in a row from the Red Raiders, and now ACU in a deeper hole yet again. Just one timeout remaining for the Wildcats. 2:55 to go in the half. And remember, the 2-minute warning / timeout still to come. Don't you dare call it the 2-minute warning. How dare you? On first down, Sam Hicks couldn't slip the tackle of Jacob Rodriguez. He picks up 3.
Nice job by Coach Bowie, keeping it on the ground, using some clock here. I think that's important with 2:40 left in the game here, to have that clock ticking a little bit. You got to go down and score here and try to keep Texas Tech without getting the ball back before the half.
Just a 3-man rush from Texas Tech. Underneath, Cleveland hit right now by Rodriguez, who makes another tackle. It's a gain of only 1.
Good throw and catch there. I think Cleveland doesn't have to hesitate. He pivots and goes on the outside. That could have been a big gainer there. Nice job by a vision and break by the defensive back.
And Rick Bowie, the offensive coordinator, putting his hand up. It's like he'll take it to the 2-minute timeout. New to college football this year.
It is the 2-minute timeout.
Or warning, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Oh! Patrick Mahomes. I just want to give y'all one thing, if I don't give y'all anything from this entire speech, that I learned from my time at Texas Tech and in the NFL. And it's what I live by today. Is when you play this game, you got to be all in. You got to be an all in on everything you do.
Now Patrick Mahomes bleeds red and black. He paid a visit here last week. 3rd down for ACU. McIver to Taylor over the top. And Taylor has a touchdown. A 71-yard bomb.
We talked about it earlier, about how he's got good hands, good body control, but he also could take the top off the lid on the backside. The corner squatted, and he ran right past him.
Taylor barbecued C.J. Baskerville, the veteran safety. And here's Vase for the extra point. So just as Texas Tech was starting to separate, ACU draws back to within 11.
There's the play action fake, takes it right up on top, runs down the field on him, and CJ just couldn't keep up with him. CJ's a very aggressive defensive back, and he comes down on here. See him squat down inside here, and then he runs right by him. He has to take that inside hand and jam him and run with him.
And Blaine Taylor able to keep his balance too, as Baskerville tried to trip him up. He scored 7 touchdowns last year, and Taylor with a big one here to start 2024.
They just showed Coach Patterson on the sidelines. That might be the biggest smile you're going to get out of him today. It's going to be curious to see what they do now. There's 1 minute and 50 seconds left with 3 timeouts. So expect, obviously, a 2-minute drill to be coming up on Texas Tech. And what they got to do is they can't let McRae get that long kickoff return run like he did earlier.
And that 74-yard return. And McRae won't have a chance at this one. Now you saw just a snippet of Patrick Mahomes' message to the 2024 Red Raiders football team. He visited here in Lubbock last Friday. You'll see more of Pat's talk with Texas Tech coming up at the half, plus a breakdown of the new 12-team college football playoff and highlights and stats from the first half.
It's always exciting when your legends come back onto campus.
Joey McGuire told us Mahomes texts him constantly, "Coach, what do you need? What can I do?" It's uncommon. Mahomes flips it to Conyers. They hooked up for the touchdown on the last drive. And Conyers with a first down out across the 35, gain of 13.
Nice job by Coach Kitley coming up. They run Conyers underneath on a little waggle, naked bootleg, faking off the counter into the flat. Nice perimeter blocking.
Now it's Brooks. Across the 40-yard line, and Schaefer with the tackle.
3 yards on the play. Second and
I
7.
like it. It's obviously a 2-minute drill, but they're being very methodical about it, using the clock. I think we got a little false start over there.
False start. Offense, number 56. That penalty results in a zap count. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 10 seconds. 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, remember with the new 2-minute timeout, the 10-second runoff now applies in the final 2 minutes, not just the final minute like previous years.
Absolutely, which was a very good call. Old Devin Carter, number 56. You only mention those old linemen, those big old mollyhawkers when they do something wrong, you know? But he got a little antsy there.
So approaching the final minute now. Morton dumps it to Taj Brooks. Made one man miss, and he's upended at the 43 by Schaefer, who's been busy tonight. ACU without their top 2 linebackers coming into the season, Darius Moore and Reese Young, because of injuries.
Yeah, that was a big hurt right there with those 2 young men.
And 4 flags are out.
That's why I love in the history of college football, when something like this happens, the O-line points to the D-line, D-line points to the O-line. You know, it's like, guys, they threw the flag, they know who jumped.
It wasn't me, it was him.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
It's like, you know, when you're kids, I didn't do it, he did it.
Yes.
False start. Offense number 71. Texas Tech has called the first time out of the half to avoid a 10-second runoff. 30 seconds.
Yeah, so they didn't want to bleed it down to 32 seconds with this penalty inside of 2 minutes. Tech takes the timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. And you see, it could have been Scurry. It could have been Caleb Rogers at right tackle.
Absolutely. And the guys, Abilene Christian's pointing to the left tackle, and they're blaming it on the right guard. I mean, it's all over the place. But smart decision here by Joey, using the timeout instead of taking the 10 seconds. They still got 2 left.
Yeah, so 42 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts in the back pocket for Texas Tech.
Now, I'm going to see what Coach Kidley's thinking here, because if you notice, every third down so far, okay, you hate to say but every third down so far, he's ran the football. Now, with only 42 seconds. Now, the nice thing about it is he runs the football and gets a first down. The clock is going to stop.
Yes.
So they can get back on the ball and get motoring down the field here.
But in any event, maybe a run play to set up a 4th down attempt. Instead, Morton back to throw. Guns it low and incomplete. Looking for 6'9" tight end Mason Tharp.
Intended for Mason Tharp.
And Tech will punt it away for the first time tonight.
4th and 10.
Gotta tell you, Ted, Morin's been playing a heck of a football game. We got a little antsy on that one, and that's a huge, huge win for Abilene Christian to get them to punt the football and not let them go down and get some more points out of this.
The Aussie, Jack Burgess, replacing the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year, Austin McNamara at punter for Texas Tech. Henry, the fair catch, inside the 20. It's a 45-yard boot from Burgess. Transfer from Weber State in the FCS.
He's a transfer guy, but like you say, he's from Australia. And I got to tell you, since they're in a little break right here, my man, Coach Perry, the special teams coach, told me all about this. His girlfriend comes and visits him from Australia, right? And she is a huge Zach Brown fan. Zach Bryan fan. And he's going to have a concert in Dallas. He couldn't come because he's in the middle of football camp. So he sends her on a bus to Dallas to go see the concert instead of flying her up there. A bus.
5 hours.
And he said, I thought the transportation system might be better in America.
Not quite the same as public transit in Australia. Johnson, a nice run on first down. We'll see how aggressive ACU is here. Just one timeout. Final 30 seconds. Clock did stop momentarily with the first down.
Good job of running the football and popping one out on him. Coming right back to it again.
And Johnson with a gain of 3 this time, and maybe that'll be it for the half.
Yeah,
he's been busy tonight. Ringing that bell. And that's it for the first half. High-scoring first half to kick off the season here in Lubbock. Maverick McIver back here at Texas Tech, where he started his career, but it's Joey McGuire's team up by double figures. They scored on each of their first 5 possessions. 32-21 at the break. Coming up, we look back at Patrick Mahomes' visit as he made his way back to Lubbock to speak for the team just before the season. It really is a weekend-long celebration. So good to have college football back in our lives. Week 1, and we've got a West Texas shootout here in Lubbock. 32-21, Texas Tech on top in the season opener. He's Dave Steckel. I'm Ted Emmerich. The headline here, FBS versus FCS. You've got the disparity, 20-plus scholarships, the difference between these two schools. And yet, Steck, it is a game.
It's a really good football game. Once they settle down, Abilene Christian, they're starting to get their air raid going. Defense is playing well. They got to come up with a stop or a takeaway here for the second half. But Texas Tech is doing a good job. We talked about the middle 8. They get the ball the first 4 minutes. Interesting stat for you. Stats are useless information sometimes. 85% of the time when you're leading at halftime, you win the football game.
Well, it looked like Texas Tech was going to run away with this game. Taj Brooks had the touchdown run early on after Tech had forced a 3-and-out. Baron Morton went to work.
He went to work, got a back shoulder fade there to Coy. Then they come up with a little trickeration here with the muddle huddle by Kenny Perry. They go for the 2 points, makes it 15. But then McIver comes right back. Beautiful touch in the end zone. Blown coverage on the squat. The big tight end Castles gets in there, rumbles in there, gets a nice touchdown on that one.
And Morton to Aiken for a second time. Coy Aiken matching his total from last year. 2 touchdowns all of last season, 2 touchdowns in the first half tonight.
And then they come right back and score. And you see the big outside fade here. I'm still disputing this, that he's foot's out of bounds. You know what? Sometimes, like Bo Schembechler said, it's just my opinion, but you know I'm right. And then they come back here to Blaine for a nice long bomb, coming in for the touchdown for the catch-up.
Yeah, just as Texas Tech was starting to build a cushion there, the 71-yard strike to make it 32-21. You see the numbers again. ACU has put up nearly 300 yards of offense, in fact, outgaining Texas Tech. So as you look ahead to the second half here, Texas Tech has the ball to start the third quarter. Big possession for that ACU defense.
It is, and the one big factor in this game that they have is Texas Tech has a takeaway. Abilene Christian's got to get a takeaway or 2 to get them right back in this football game.
Yeah, Texas Tech will have the ball to start the second half here in Lubbock as we kick off the 2024 season. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Now as we dip further into the night, truly under the lights, as the season kicks off tonight for Joey McGuire in his 3rd year at Texas Tech. Abilene Christian from the FCS. And a 2-score game, 32-21, the Red Raiders on top. They led this one 15-0 in the first quarter. But Keith Patterson's team able to fire back in Patterson's return to Lubbock. He was the defensive coordinator for 3 years under Matt Wells from 2019 to 21. Tech ball to start the second half. And a chance for Dre McCray. He had a 70-plus yard return in the first half. And McCray is chopped down near the 30 this time by Elijah Moffitt.
That young man has a second gear, you notice. When he got the ball, he got to the 10-yard line, he kicked into a second gear. Moffitt did a nice job of wrapping him up and tackling to him.
Well, Tech couldn't be stopped for most of that first half, Steck. 5 possessions, 5 scores to open up before the punt very late in the half.
It was. And the thing I think that really got after Abilene Christian in the first quarters, they had the turnover and they had 4 penalties. But then in the second quarter, they don't turn the ball over and they only have 1 penalty. So something to keep an eye on as they settle down here in the second half.
Taj Brooks met right at the line on first down by Will Schaefer, who has been productive. The transfer from Arizona State, filling in really for both Darius Moore and Reese Young, 2 starters for ACU out with injuries.
That's right. Now, he obviously is a transfer that you just mentioned, but Coach Patterson really likes this guy. Thought he has a lot of qualities that Moore had.
Morton to the air. And Jordan Brown with his first catch tonight. And Brown moves the sticks with a gain of 11, the 5th-year senior from Dallas.
Here comes your tempo now. That was kind of like stealing from over there. They went trips to the left, 3 wide receivers, and the middle receiver was uncovered.
Quick hitter to Aiken, who had 2 touchdowns in the first half. Schaefer with the tackle as Aiken stepped out after a gain of 1.
Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9.
Morton working through the progressions, and he hits Aiken. Did he get his foot in bounds? Yes, he did. A first down inside the ACU 40-yard line. Pickup of 23.
That was a huge, big-time throw. On a rope, on the sideline, gets his toe in the boundary, but that young man, Morton, threw that ball on a rope.
Man, that chemistry is just evident between Morton and Aiken. Off the pump. Oh, Morton cocked his arm there. And Morton throws it away. This is exactly what the coaches told us yesterday, that they would be talking to Baron Morton about. Hey, if it's not there, just toss it to the bench.
Come back here on the other play to Aiken. Look at that down the sideline. Good eye-hand coordination. He gets that left toe in bounds. You see the official staring it down the sideline. Excellent call, excellent catch. Very impressive.
John Carlos Miller, the second, transfer from Elon, checks in at tight end. And Brooks trying to steer it to the outside. Knocked down by Kirby Cohealy and Jameer Dudley after a gain of 2.
With a counter OY. What I say by OY, it's the opposite guard and the tight end. Pull back across the line of scrimmage on a counter play, handing it to Brooks. He had 84 yards in the first half. Something to keep your eye on here. 3rd down. 4-down territory here. I would expect they're coming in unbalanced here. I expect a run right now.
Instead, Brooks motions out of the backfield, and Morton fires underneath, caught by Miller. His first catch in a Texas Tech uniform. It's a gain of 8 and a first down.
John Carlos Miller on the nub side back there. They motioned him out to quads. He just went over and sat in the little hole there.
And Tech right back over the ball and a flag down. Had a few motion penalties in the first half.
I'll start offense. All 11 players never got set for a second. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tim Retch with an all-time call there. Yeah. All 11. Okay.
All 11. I never heard that one before, but
yes,
it was definitely a legal procedure there.
Not quite up there with he was giving him the business, but pretty close. 5th false start against Tech tonight. Off play action. Morton. Caught. And it's Kelly. Kelly trying to spin out of trouble. So elusive, and he's close to the first down marker. It's a gain of 14.
Really good play by Bourne there. He wanted to look into the boundary on the corner route that was well covered by Abilene Christian. Felt a little pop pressure, got out of the pocket, and used a little dump-off hitch route there to Kelly, who then took it for another 4 yards.
Kelly's 5th catch tonight, 55 yards. A transfer from Washington State. Will be that security blanket in the passing game. 2nd and 1. Brooks steps out of a tackle. Oh, getting a block from his quarterback. And Brooks trying to cut it back. 1st and goal for Texas Tech inside the 5. He broke the tackle of Chris Wright, and Baron Morton was leading the way.
Came back here, you see the counter trap backside. He's nice and patient, he cuts it back. And what every college football player loves on your team is look at the quarterback out there. Not only one, but gets 2 blocks out on the perimeter. That's why they love this guy, and he's a captain.
Morton, trying to sidearm it to Kelly, and it's deflected. Will Schaefer got his hands on it. Boy, Morton trying to go Mahomes there with the different arm angle.
He did. Nice job by batting the ball down, because if he doesn't bat that ball, he's open in the flat for the touchdown here. See a little motion. He comes back out to the flat, gets his left hand on it to disrupt the play. Good job there by Schaefer.
Schaefer's led ACU with 11 tackles tonight. Got his hands on that one. 2nd and goal. Brooks weaving, spinning, and he is on the doorstep. Tackled inside the 1 by Kohili.
In that little short space there, what you see out of Brooks there is his quickness, agility, and then you see how he finishes the run with his power. Very impressive.
And Brooks has eclipsed 100 yards. It's its 13th career 100-yard game. 3rd and goal. Will Brooks get it again? Yes. And Brooks is tripped up by Dorian Plumlee. Just short of the goal line. 4th and goal. I don't think the Texas Tech offense is coming off the field here.
They are not, and they're going to pound it in there. You see the offensive line coach, Clay McGuire. He's out there fist pumping his old lines. And let's get this done. We got a 1.5 yards. Let's go stick it to him.
Nobody goes for it on 4th down like Texas Tech under Joey McGuire. 13th play of the drive. 4th and goal outside the 1. Brooks again, and he is engulfed. David O'Kee with the stop for ACU as the Wildcats stand tall.
Turnover on downs. Abilene Christian first.
That is an excellent defensive stand. Coming up inside here, they go back to Brooks, uses his quickness, angles up inside, wraps him up, and then they look at the swarm around him. Turnover, going the other way. You got to be fired up here. David O'Kee, one of my favorite guys on Abilene, comes off on a nice slant move, wraps up that body part. Look at that excitement he has. He comes inside, wraps it up, and then look at the swarm by the defense that wraps him up, and that's just like a takeaway, Ted. They're going the other way. Now can they capitalize on that situation?
O'Kee had a strip sack against Missouri a couple of years ago in a game that you called in Columbia that led to a touchdown for ACU, and he comes up with a big play here. McIver taking a shot on 1st down, and Javon Gibson with the leaping grab across the 25.
Excellent job. Back in the hole. They're going to go for it. You see here a little stutter. It's called an out and up. Comes over across. Does a nice job of catching the football. The safety doesn't get over in time, and they hit it right there in that hole and covered 2.
Gibson in his first year with ACU after 3 years at Baylor, one of 18 FBS transfers ACU brought in this season. McIver tosses that out of bounds. So Keith Patterson, of course, former Texas Tech defensive coordinator, told us, hey, listen, when you play an FBS opponent like we are, you can view it as either an opportunity or an obstacle. We've been stressing to our players, hey, this is an opportunity for you. Get excited.
Absolutely. You have these young players that come out here from an FCS standpoint, the lower division, even though they have a bunch of transfers, and they're going to come up here, they want to play and say, hey, we belong up here with you guys.
Banks motions into the backfield on 2nd and 10. McIver with time and overthrew Martinez. They found a pocket in the secondary. McIver couldn't hit him. So you see the uneven first half, especially to start for Abilene Christian, but McIver and the offense found a rhythm there in the middle of the half.
They absolutely did. I think a lot of that, those first 2 drives were jitters. They were so excited to play here. The quarterback coming back home to his hometown, and he used to play here, was recruited here by Cliff Kingsbury. They settled down. They're playing well there. But that throw right there, that last one, he had his jitters again because he had a wide open guy on the corner route.
3rd and 10. Castles, the tight end, in motion. 4-man rush. McIver slings it. And a diving attempt by Taylor. He comes down with it. Inside the Texas Tech 40. 36 yards.
Ted, I got to tell you, the more I watch Blaine Taylor play, look at him setting off. He dives, leaves his feet, and I wish you could zoom in on those eyes, watch that ball go right into his hands.
Now the slip screen for Taylor. And he steps out of bounds with a gain of 3. Back to the diving grab.
Look at his eyes and how he looks it right into the ball. Plus, the defensive back is all over him. They could have easily thrown a flag on that. Blaine Taylor might have a heck of a future coming down the road here. I'm very impressed with his skill set. And he let everybody know it's a first down.
Injured Red Raider on the field. Taylor down as well on the sideline. Will step aside.
Maverick McIver here, leading these guys down the field again. Here's some highlights from you. Beautiful fade around the corner to Castillo, makes another little move for the touchdown, settles down, gets a little pump fake there, goes vertical. Super catch coming out of there. Now look at his composure in the pocket. Looks one way, comes back the other way. Scrambles the throw. Hits the little dink out to Cleveland. Comes back in the pocket here. Steps up. Throws it down the field to Blaine Taylor. He takes it all the way to the end zone. He's hitting his groove right now, Ted. I'm really impressed with it. He's got 2nd and 7 now. Going down to score.
You have to imagine Maverick McIver dreamed of this kind of performance inside Jones AT&T Stadium, and he's doing it in an ACU uniform. 2nd and 7, and a first down run by Rovon Banks Jr. And McIver went 4 straight years without stepping onto the field, from his senior year in high school to his first 3 years in college, all here at Texas Tech because of injuries, and now a 3-year starter at ACU. Banks with a crease, and Banks is close to another first down.
Really good job of perseverance. And the other thing that I wanted to highlight there, they threw that great graphic up there real quick about 8 different receivers. That's the air raid. They want to spread the ball around so you can't zone in on one guy. And when you have a lot of receivers like they have at Abilene Christian, they did a nice job of getting these transfers coming in to help McIver out there. He's doing an excellent job of spreading around. And you got to tip your hat to Rick Bowie, because right now he's keeping Coach DeRuiter off balance a little bit.
ACU now in the red zone. Remember, this drive started at their own 4 after the goal line stand. Looked like motion from the right tackle, Trent Pullen.
False start. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Sometimes I see things.
Great eyes.
Once in a while.
Yeah, old Trent, he was a little antsy there to get going, man.
Transfer from Oklahoma State.
You don't want to get in this situation here, especially when you're down here in the red zone.
So 2nd and 1 turns into 2nd and 6. McIver rifles complete to Nehemiah Martinez. Again, former Red Raiders connecting there. 1st and goal for Abilene Christian.
Coach DeRuiter, he brought max protection there. And Rodriguez, excuse me, I just went completely blank. Martinez, thank you, sir. He had outside man coverage and beat him to the inside. Easy pitch and catch there.
And not only is Martinez a former Red Raider, he's a Lubbock native from Cooper High School.
Yeah, 2 years ago, he made an impact here at Texas Tech.
Sure did. Johnson already has a touchdown. Oh, how about lowering the shoulder on Bryce Ramirez? Johnson stayed on his feet and took it down to the 1.
Watch the replay here. They go in with a little counter OY here. Jumps up in the situation there. Comes downhill. Takes a big shot by Ramirez. Keeps his feet. Bounces off it because they didn't wrap up. Now he's down at the 1-yard line here. 2nd and goal.
10th play of the drive that started at the 4. Banks with a flag down. Spilled just short of the goal line by Chapman Lewis.
They were in an unbalanced formation here. They might get him for an illegal formation because I'm not sure the outside guy was on the line of scrimmage. We'll wait and see here.
Offside. Defense number 4 lined up in the neutral zone. After distance to the goal line, it's still 2nd down.
So Marion Horn, the sophomore corner, called for the penalty.
Yeah, you know
and
what?
Moved the ball a few inches here.
Well, he was in press coverage over there and got a little bit too close to him.
And again, Tech tonight without their top corner entering the season, Braylon Lux, because of a thigh injury. 2nd and goal inside the 1. Banks reaching for the goal line. He's got the touchdown. And Abilene Christian is within a score.
What a beautiful drive they have on this football thing, capping it off with Banks coming downhill, exploding up and through the end zone. Very nice job there. Great play calling by Bowie. Excellent job of going down the length of the field. And like you just said, they brought it within 1 score.
Boy, interesting to kick the extra point here. If you go for 2, you could cut it to 3. But Ritzy Vase is on for the PAT. The transfer from D2 Midwestern State in Wichita Falls. And he knocks it through. A 96-yard touchdown drive for Abilene Christian after the goal line stand to open the 2nd half. And it's a 4-point game here in Lubbock. Just a picture-perfect start to the 2nd half for Keith Patterson and Abilene Christian. Goal line stand followed by a 96-yard touchdown drive. But Steck, they really should have gone for 2 there, right?
In my opinion, they should definitely gone for 2. Because if you go for 2, you don't get it, you're down 5. You're still down a touchdown. They kick the extra point, you're down 4, called modern math. You're still down a touchdown. So there's nothing gained, nothing ventured there. And I really believe part of that might have been a situation with Coach, new offensive coordinator. Coach Bowie's got to get in his ear and say, hey, Coach, because Coach is calling the defense now, you know?
So 4-point game. Meskey kicking to McCray, and he'll bring it out. One of the best return men in college football, getting another crack at it. And here he goes. McCray past midfield. And McCray to the 35-yard line. How does anybody kick to Dre McCray?
Tell you what, Ted, I'll tell you what, watch this catch. He's 3 yards, 4 yards deep in the end zone. Here comes his burst, set up real well, cuts it back. Look at the explosiveness here. Now, the other thing I like, too, is so right here at the very end, he's dragging some guys with him. You can't give up that kind of a big play. Right when you got momentum, they turned around Texas Tech and put the momentum right back into Texas Tech's hands.
Steck, McCray led the FBS with 3 kick returns of 50-plus yards last year. He's got 2 of them tonight to start the 2024 season. That one went for 65 yards.
That's incredibly impressive. Go with
Flea
the flea
flicker. Morton to Kelly for the touchdown. Texas Tech strikes quickly. 35 yards.
That happened real quick there, Ted. Warren's having an impressive day. He's 19 for 25 now. 4th touchdown pass. I'm very impressed with this young man. What you could do when you're healthy, huh?
That shoulder is absolutely 100%. That's a throw that Baron Morton probably couldn't have made late last year. Garcia with the extra point, and Tech back up 2 scores. Put that belt around the waist of Josh Kelly.
Comes out here, play action, fakes the counter, Flea flicks it back to him, wide open, safety bites on the run fake, and Kelly with his speed just runs past the secondary.
Morton, money,
yeah,
again.
I was going to say,
he has matched his career high with 4 touchdown passes.
He might have been watching College Game Day this morning with Johnny Manziel on there with the money signal.
Oh yeah, Money Manziel, meet Money Morton.
I know. Nowadays in college football, you can give that money signal for all that NIL money they're making, man. He said, hey, money, man, I'm going to make some more money on that throw.
Yeah, boy, Johnny wishes he could have in his day at A&M.
I'm not so sure he wasn't.
Well, that's a good point.
That's a horse of another color.
Yeah, no kidding. So Tech back up 11. And Burkhart to kick away to Martinez. From the goal line. Past the 15. And cut off just past the 25 by the kicker, Burkhart. So the half started with ACU bowing its neck, stopping Taj Brooks on 4th down, and Maverick McIver engineered a 96-yard touchdown drive. McIver with the deep ball and a ridiculous catch by Blaine Taylor. All the setup, Rovon Banks' touchdown run. ACU didn't go for 2 in that situation, down 5, could have cut it to 3. And Trey McCray with the big return, followed by the flea flicker for the score for the Red Raiders, and Tech is up 11.
Ted, it's early, but the phone's ringing. Who's going to answer? Abilene's offense or Texas Tech's defense?
And McIver hits Trey Cleveland, another former Red Raider, for a gain of 4. Good to see Quincy Ledet back on the field. He was shaken up on the last drive. He was questionable coming in with a calf injury, although Ledet did practice all week.
He did, and it's good to see a guy going out there and playing with his teammates.
Hicks sticks his nose in. Rodriguez the tackle after a gain of 4. So 3rd and short for ACU.
This is where a nice, experienced offensive line is taking charge out here, opening up some holes for their running game. Big, big, big 3rd down. How big is big? Huge 3rd down play right now for Abilene Christian. They got to keep the ball in their hands.
Wildcats are 7 of 9 on 3rd down tonight. Great number. Blitz up the middle. And on 3rd and a yard, move the chains. Hicks stretches for the 1st down.
Nice job on the short yardage down. Just a simple little zone play coming off the ball. Cuts it back. Gets it a little bit better job. He bounces outside of Cleveland. He could get a little bit more hay there. However, they got the 1st down and the chains are moving.
McIver keeps it this time, and he whips it to Cleveland. Across midfield for another 1st down. Pickup of 12 as ACU picks up the tempo.
Really good RPO run pass option there. But what Cleveland did there, he ran the slant up into a dig route, got him up over wide open over the middle of the field when Coach DeRuiter brought that simulated pressure up the middle.
Cleveland, a savvy player, 6th-year senior, spent 4 years here at Texas Tech before spending last year at North Texas. McIver is over 300 yards passing, 310 to go with 2 touchdowns. Under duress, and Castles is upended by Horn. The corner making the tackle in the open field.
Really nice execution by the defense there. Abilene Christian goes in motion, and you see the corner run with the nickel runs back over on the other side. So McIver knows he's got man coverage. So he dumps it off into the flat, and Horn does a nice job of bursting to his man and wrapping up and making a great play for a tackle for loss.
2-yard backtrack, 2nd and 12. Henry goes in motion. McIver connects with Taylor, the sliding grab at the 41 of Tech, and it'll be 3rd and 2 again for Abilene Christian.
Big 3rd down again. There again, he shows motion. He's trying to tell the quarterback, are we in man or are we in zone? So this time, they spin the safeties. They don't run with them. He knows they're in zone coverage. A nice job of sitting down right in the middle of the zone, catching the ball, gives him another 3rd and 2 manageable. I would suspect a run here because they're in 4-down territory. 4 down means you don't make it here, you're going for it on 4th.
And Steck, ACU has brought in their biggest running back, 235-pound Jordan Vaughn. On 3rd and 2, Vaughn gets the call, trying to push the pile. And he's right close to the line to gain, maybe a bit short.
I like Vaughn. He actually played linebacker at Wyoming. Always got a heart out for linebackers. As he comes up here on the spot, I always talk about the officials. Was it left foot or right foot? Looks like they gave him a left foot spot here.
It is 4th down, less than a yard. And the ACU offense remains out there. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Can Texas Tech come up with a 4th down stop like ACU did earlier here in the 3rd?
They got their biggins in there now, 12 personnel.
Play clock running down, and the Wildcats have to burn a timeout. Don't think Keith Patterson is all that happy with that.
Coach, there's certain things that make coaches crazy, and one of those is a substitution situation. You got 4th and 1. You can either, what they call Xerox, meaning copy the same play and go quick, but they decide to put personnel in there. They got to be a little quicker, a little bit more organized, and that makes Coach Patterson a little crazy right now because you just wasted the time out here in the 3rd quarter. Now, the one thing I will say about that, though, is with the 2-minute timeout, so instead of having 3.5, you really got 4. So that's the beneficial for him right
Sure. And Keith Patterson sends out the offense again. 4th and a half yard, down by 11 on the road in the season opener. Hicks is the running back. Maybe changing the play here. Plenty of time on the play clock. Hicks met in the backfield. Jaden Cofield knifing through for a 4th down stop.
Here comes the one on the right play. You see the blitz. They run a little TE stunt and the slant move on the backside. Beautiful job of getting the tackle for loss. They brought more people than you can block. And that was the situation there. Good call by Tim DeRuiter, packing the paint, coming after it. And boy, that's what I love about college football. Look at that excitement, making a big play there.
Cofield, a redshirt freshman out of Austin and from the same high school as Taj Brooks. Cofield has known Brooks since he was a kid. Both went to Manor High School there in the Super Syntax region. So Tech takes over, final seconds of the 3rd quarter from their own 42. Morton dumps it. Caleb Douglas into ACU territory with a 1st down, gain of 11 as we close out the 3rd quarter. ACU had it back to within a score, but Texas Tech up. Start of the 4th quarter here in Lubbock, the season opener between Texas Tech and Abilene Christian. And they have been swag surfing here in Lubbock during the timeout. You see the score. If you knew the spread coming in, you're probably wondering what is going on. Abilene Christian, with so many former Red Raiders on their coaching staff, on their roster, have put up quite the fight. But after the 4th down stop by the Tech defense, Red Raiders have it, plus territory, and Taj Brooks, one of the best running backs in college football, carries for 4. Brooks over 100 yards. Yet again, he had the game's first touchdown.
It could be Taj Brooks time right now. Talks about Taj time.
It's always Taj time around here. And on 2nd down, Brooks, nifty move to escape Dorian Plumlee there. Gain of a couple, and 3rd and 4 now for Texas Tech.
Now keep an eye on this, Ted, where they've been running the ball a whole lot on 3rd down here. I think Coach Patterson probably has a feel for that too, for them going to run the football here.
Yeah, Cam Brown is in, the backup quarterback. The coaches say he'll have a role in the run game. Here it is. Brown at 230 pounds. Picks up a couple. And so it's 4th down here. Again, prime territory in ACU's end of the field to go for it for Texas Tech.
Yeah, when Cam Brown is in that football game, like you just said, but he's coming out now. When Cam is in that football game, that is their system of a wildcat.
So Morton back in. 4th and 2. Red Raiders going for it. And Morton's pass tipped at the line, incomplete. It was David O'Kee who got his paw on it. He had the tackle on the goal line stand to start the 3rd quarter. There is a flag down in the secondary, however.
That's not good when it's in the secondary, especially off an RPO.
Remember, though, tip pass.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference because the ball was tipped.
Yep.
It was an incomplete pass. The result of the play is a turnover on downs. 1st down.
No PI when there's a tip pass. Check if there's a hold first.
Yeah, he did hold, but like the official said, the ball's tipped coming off the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah.
Nice job of getting their hands up in the air and deflecting that pass, which negated the holding.
Yep. No penalty there. And so Abilene Christian has it back. Wildcats refuse to go quietly here tonight as we kick off the season. Maverick McIver returning to Texas Tech, where he started his college career. 318 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he finds Banks out of the backfield. Into Texas Tech territory. Banks on the wheel route for 21.
Really good scheme here on the backside. You see the drag route, the corner curl, and they take Banks out of the backfield and run the wheel route upside the sideline, puts it into him. Banks got to stay in bounds on that, though. I saw Banks play 2 years ago up at Mizzou, too, when he was a true freshman. Really explosive, good hands, got some wiggle to him.
So now a 1st down at the Tech 41. McIver floats it for Taylor, incomplete. Horn had the coverage.
McIver's pass incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, old Mav might have got a little greedy there. He threw that into double coverage, and they had a seam route going up the middle of the field, wide open.
We also have a flag here.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Defense. 15-yard penalty enforced in the previous spot with an automatic 1st down. Number 61 can remain in the game.
Now check out Dylan Kinney, the left tackle here for Abilene Christian.
Coming back. Guy's got a good push. Oh yeah, he gets right underneath the jaw. Now I'm gonna stand on my pedestal on this. Why can that be illegal? But offensive guys can straight arm you in the face, and it's not illegal hands to the face. But it was a good call by the official.
Yeah, Amir Washington called for the penalty there. And Sam Hicks trying to get to the edge. Jacob Rodriguez didn't allow it. Loss of 3 on the play. I mean, everything is catered to the offense, right? I'm sure you would say that as a long-time defensive coordinator.
Well, I say it because it's true.
Yeah. You see D.B. Carroll coming out. Cofield checks back in up front for Tech.
I'll tell you what, you just mentioned a name there. I know we mentioned him because of the penalty, but Amir Washington, he had a huge bowl game. And you haven't called his name much tonight. He needs to come up and make a big play here.
Had 2 sacks against Cal. McIver off his back foot. Finds Martinez for the touchdown. Once again, former Red Raiders connecting for 6.
That looked too easy. I was watching the pass rush with Washington on his bull rush. And here comes the replay. We can see he comes in, good play action, pocket's clean, runs a little corner right. There's a climb route, comes off all the way from the weak side, all the way back across. And the backside corner in their cover 3 squatted and didn't get back on that outside third.
And Steg, ACU's in the same situation as they were in the third quarter, down by 5, not going for 2 here. And that makes it a 4-point game. You still need more than a field goal. But Maverick McIver and the ACU offense just will not quit. Nehemiah Martinez made a few plays in a Red Raider uniform. Now he's doing it for ACU. Yeah, go ahead, get down. Abilene Christian back to within a score. 4th quarter here in Lubbock. Ted Emmerich, Dave Steckel, our entire crew. Maverick McIver piloting a 4-play, 62-yard drive. Nehemiah Martinez on the receiving end of the touchdown. Both McIver and Martinez used to be in the red and black, now in the purple and white. Returning to Texas Tech, McIver's had a huge game, but again, ACU not going for 2.
I don't understand that one. You talk about situational football, and again, the same coaching point as before. You're down 5 and down 4. Smart move here on the drop kick.
Avoiding Dre McCray at all costs, and that's a good decision. And a fair catch called by Texas Tech. And John Carlos Miller. Oh, we've got 4 more exciting games in the Big 12 on ESPN Plus. In week 2, Steck, we will be in Fort Worth, TCU, and the Long Island Sharks. Frogs with the big comeback win on the road against Stanford last night. Also West Virginia, UAlbany, UCF, Sam Houston, Arizona, Northern Arizona at 10 Eastern. Big 12 is loaded this year. Yes, it's a new look. Yes, Texas and Oklahoma are gone, but it could very well be the most compelling conference in the country. As Brooks carries on first down for a gain of 6.
Watching the Big 12 for years and coaching it back in my past, it's always got a very competitive, balanced league conference. And you never know on any given day in the Big 12. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Texas Tech's got their hands full with Abilene Christian right now.
Morton fires to Kelly. Breaks a tackle at the 50, and Kelly down at the ACU 46. Got away from Kirby Cohealy, and it's a pickup of 22.
Made it too easy here. They went with the play action on the counter play, sucks up the linebackers, drops it over their head to Kelly. Safety's got to come down and knock that thing out.
Morton stepping up and winging it. Look out here. Overshot everybody. Douglas was the target, and Elijah Moffitt, the safety for Abilene Christian, had a better shot at it.
Yeah, and I really think Morton on that time, he hurried that thing. He had a little bit more time because the offensive line did a really nice job of picking up the twist stunt up inside. So he stepped up into the pocket. I think he just got a little bit of happy feet and threw the ball too quick.
Boy, you kind of wonder why Douglas slowed up there, too. 2nd and 10. And back into the belly of Taj Brooks. And Brooks picks up about 3. 114 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries for Brooks, who was the 2nd leading rusher in the Big 12 last year behind Ollie Gordon, and the 4th leading rusher in the country.
Nice football player there on the counter the game. They came back with the same play, but last time they threw the ball off the play action fake. Here they handed it to him on the counter play. 3rd and down plus territory. Abilene sub, I'd be expecting a run here.
Texas Tech can always set up 4th down offensively. 3rd and 6. Morton to throw. And Morton completes it to Kelly. And Texas Tech is in the red zone. Gabe White made the tackle. 25 yards on the hookup.
Beautiful throw there. Goes pure drop back pass. Runs the deep curl route back into Kelly. On the money, on the sideline.
Joey McGuire told us, we just want Josh Kelly to find space in the secondary. He's done that so well tonight. Now Brooks on the screen. And Brooks picks up about 5.
They went into what's called quads. They had 4 receivers to the left side there. And the big point was Brooks. Threw the ball to him, got the 5 yards. Now they go empty. 3-by-2 set.
Morton has thrown a career-high 4 touchdown passes tonight. 317 yards for the junior. Oh, Morton was looking end zone. Ad-libbing now. And he hits Brown. Near the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for Texas Tech.
Nice job of ad-libbing. They tried to throw the ball into the boundary. Good job by Morton. The defensive end drops into coverage here. You see him drop into coverage, gets underneath the out route. So he goes and ad-libs here on a 3-man rush. Nice job of coming back to the ball.
Steck, there was a penalty there. We didn't catch the announcement, but I believe it was against Texas Tech. It is a hold against the Red Raiders. So instead of 1st and goal, Tech's backed up outside the red zone here. 2nd and 15. Fake the screen to McCray. Morton to the end zone. Incomplete. Over the head of Aiken, who has 2 touchdowns tonight. Tyson Williams back there defensively.
3rd down and 15 to go.
Got 3rd and long right here in this situation. What I would anticipate, okay, they haven't getting a lot of pass rush on this young man so far tonight. So I can see there's Coach Patterson. They're talking about right now, but I can either see them coming all out, but now you're going to be susceptible. Watch him to come upside here, drop 8.
Just a 4-man rush, and Morton's pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage. Kagan Roach, the transfer from North Texas, got his hands up. 4th down.
Good 4-man rush. He's pushing the pocket, gets up inside there. Man, that was almost like a volleyball play. He batted that with both hands.
So Texas Tech will try for the field goal with 5th-year senior Reese Burkhart. Again, the rotation with him and Garcia. This is Burkhart's first field goal attempt in college. From 41 yards, he connects. And Texas Tech leads by a touchdown. You see the smile on Keith Patterson's face there on the left. Abilene Christian's head coach, former Texas Tech defensive coordinator. It's a win for ACU to hold Joey McGuire's offense to a field goal there. It's a touchdown game with 8.5 to play here, Steck.
I know, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. It's a 1-score possession. Both coaches look really calm, okay? But right now, I call that the duck pose. They look real calm on top, but underneath those ducks are paddling like heck, you know what I mean? Right now, both teams, it's so evenly matched. 61 plays each, 22 first downs each, 450 yards each. Unbelievable statistic there. The defense, some defenses got to stand up and take charge of this thing.
Difference really is that lost fumble by ACU early on. Texas Tech cashed in with the short field. And we've had quite a few 4th down stops here in the second half from each team. Touchback here. And ACU has it at the 25. It has been a night to remember for Maverick McIver. Former Red Raider, Never gotten a game in his 3 years here. Now in his 3rd year as the starter with Abilene Christian. 369 yards and 3 touchdowns. More yards than he threw for in any game last year.
Very impressive. Very impressive. And I think the thing that's more impressive is he started off really poor. And I'm sure a lot of it was anxiety, the anticipation being here, the excitement about being here. But he has settled down, and he's playing one heck of a football game.
They start with the handoff to Isaiah Johnson. And Johnson picks up a couple.
Nice job by the defense. The offensive line, that's their most experienced group over there with Abilene. They got to take charge of this football game right now for them to get going.
Boy, McIver was so excited when Keith Patterson hired Rick Bowie and installed the air raid. Coaches say that the talent that McIver showed in high school at San Angelo Central is shining through now. Ball through the hands of Cleveland. Incomplete. And it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Trey wants to have that one back. Cleveland wants to have that thing back. Came up with his hands a little bit too quick. Ball came to him real fast. Has to react and catch that football. Now you got a 3rd and 8 situation here.
And ACU is 8 of 11 on 3rd downs. You know, coming in, the coaches for Texas Tech were pumped to see more depth on defense. They thought that everyone could play harder, faster, longer. They have been tested here tonight. Can they get off the field? McIver to Cleveland for the 1st down.
Jalen Peoples, he's in there playing right now for the injured Lux. And the one thing there is they're going down there, hitting that seam route on the outside, and his eyes go back to the quarterback. Okay, watch the defensive back here. He makes a nice release. He looks at the quarterback, and there's an old saying, when you see the quarterback throw the ball, you're going to see the receiver catch the ball.
Now it's Hicks. The sidestep. And a nice gain on 1st down, about 5 yards. After the 23-yard completion from McIver to Cleveland.
That was an excellent run by Hicks. He was patient, he was quick, he came up down the sideline there. Excellent job by him on his part there, being very patient on the outside. Joey's getting a little frustrated there with that look on his face. I've seen that look before in recruiting when I used to recruit in high school.
That's Cedar Hill.
That's Cedar Hill, where he was an awesome coach there, won a couple state titles.
Hicks motions out. McIver connects. J.J. Henry steps out of a tackle. And Henry with a 1st down near the 35, gain of 9.
Push the root. He brought the blitz here. Look at this. Here comes the blitz. They're bringing forward. He dropped the guy weak. And again, the outside linebacker there, CJ, who's a safety, he's playing outside man, getting the hole wide open in the middle of the football field.
Nearing the 6-minute mark, ACU driving for a potential game-tying touchdown. Hicks up the gut. And give him 3.
Ted, the thing I like about this situation right now is Coach Bowie has it under control from the standpoint of there's 5:50 left in the game. He's being very methodical about what he's doing, how he's going about it. He's not in a hurry. He's not panicking, showing calm on the sidelines. And now you have an experienced quarterback to show the same thing to his teammates.
4-man rush. Henry to Johnson out of the backfield. The spin move. And it's 1st and goal for Abilene Christian. 28 yards, most of it after the catch for Isaiah Johnson.
Came back on the play they ran earlier where they go dig and cross and run the wheel route to the tailback up the sideline. Linebacker doesn't get over top of that. He brings it up around the side. 1st and goal.
Now with 5 minutes to play. In regulation, dare we say it. Johnson plugging away. Oh, Johnson, the 2nd effort, and he's in for the touchdown. Isaiah Johnson refusing to go down. And ACU is within a point.
Ted, I got to tell you, man, that was all Isaiah Johnson. Because on that left-hand side, there was 2 missed blocks. He made 2 guys miss, and then he used his power to get up into the end zone. Excellent drive on behalf of Abilene Christian.
ACU not going for 2 here either on the road, under 5 to play. They'll take the tie as Ritzy Vase hits the extra point. We are even at 42 in this matchup of FBS versus FCS in the season opener. Good luck trying to tackle Isaiah Johnson, the Lubbock native, coming home. The first meeting in 75 years between Texas Tech and Abilene Christian, separated by a 2-hour drive, is a classic in the making here. Tied at 42, fourth quarter. Ted Emmerich, Dave Steckel, our entire crew here in Lubbock at the renovated Jones AT&T Stadium. Yeah, somehow, some way, this game is tied as Isaiah Johnston punched it in for his second touchdown of the night. Once again, the directional kick for Abilene Christian, sending it away from Dre McCray. And Cameron Dickey, the true freshman, on the return out across the 30-yard line. So 4:52 remaining, even at 42. Is it time to lean on the player that Joey McGuire told us I like to call him my whoopee, my security blanket? Taj Brooks, who of course is chasing the all-time rushing record here at Texas Tech this season.
Well, they keep bragging about Taj time. It is Taj time right now. They need to come down. They got to use a bunch of clock because they don't have an answer right now for Abilene Christian's offense. So they have to use that clock. They got to establish a good run game, go back to the old air raid where you're running, going play action pass, and move this thing down the field here.
Brooks tonight, 115 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries. Off play action, it's Conyers, the tight end. And Conyers, the childhood friend of Baron Morton, for the first down to start off the drive. And yeah, this is the man that Brooks is chasing this season. The great Byron Hanspard was a star here in the mid-90s for those Spike Dykes teams. Brooks 1,168 yards away to begin the season. That's a number that everyone knows about in the Texas Tech football facility. They want Brooks to break the record. This run will help. Brooks inside the ACU 40 and down at the 34.
Nice job. You talk about right on cue. They run the counter OT. He goes to stick it up the middle. Watch him bounce it out to the little jump cut to the outside. Gets blocking on the perimeter, and there we go.
Now Kelly flagged down from behind the play. Kelly's had a huge night in his first game as a Red Raider. Shoved out near the 20, but checked the marker near the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense number 80. 10-yard penalty enforced in the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Yeah, so Mason Tharp had the block to spring Brooks on the previous run, and now he's called for the penalty.
First game here. You see a lot of penalties, a lot of things that don't happen normal as the season goes on that coaches will get under control. But that was a costly mistake to put him in a deficit here.
So first and very long and zipping it into Kelly. Oh, how did he come up with that? Morton found him for a nice gain to make up the penalty yardage. 19 yards, and it's 2nd and 1. Under 4 to play now. Brooks with some space with the first down. And Texas Tech's in the red zone.
They are right now. You can see the defensive line isn't coming off the ball like they were in the first half. They're standing up. You can see they're a little tired. The hands on the hips. My man Oki there, he's huffing and puffing. They got to come up with a big play here right now.
And Oki has made 2 big plays on 4th down stops here in the second half for ACU. Fresh set of downs at the 17. Morton underneath Conyers. They started the drive this way, and Conyers inside the 10.
They're coming back that. They look like it's a little split zone play, and the receiver comes in and cracks the inside linebacker, and it's a little dump pass, and you can block downfield because the ball's being caught behind the line of scrimmage by Conyers there, and he can run after the catch. Now they're using their clock here. This is smart football. Use the clock, be methodical. You scored a touchdown, that's awesome. You don't want to leave them a whole lot of time on the other side of the football field.
Morton rifles, incomplete, ahead of Aiken. D'Angelo Ponder, the sophomore from Arlington, had the assignment.
It kind of looked to me like that on that one. Aiken kind of stopped a little bit. I don't think they suspected the throw coming to him on the slant route. Which is...
Cam Brown has checked in. A sophomore transfer from Division II West Georgia. He is a walk-on, and he's in, perhaps to run. Quarterback power. Snap didn't get to him, but a flag is down.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Yeah, the center, Sheridan Wilson there.
It's tough when the center gets a false snap count. I think a little bit of that is with the cage change and the clap change in there, with the quarterback and the center with a new guy in there.
I'm with you. And the coaches, Steck, have talked about it through camp. We want Brown to have a role, especially in the red zone. But in this situation, how risky is that?
Well, they've been practicing it, so I don't know how much the risk is, especially on a 3rd and 1.
And Morton could not connect with Kelly there. So it's 4th down for Texas Tech. And the field goal unit is coming on. Burkhart nailed one earlier. And so it's Gino Garcia's turn. Again, the place kicker from a year ago. He's in the competition with Burkhart to start this season. Garcia from 31 for the lead. And he bangs it through. Texas Tech back in front.
That's something to have one good field goal kicker. These guys have 2. It's amazing how they just rotate them in and out there. Nice 3-point lead here. And the thing is now, they got to buck up here on defense with 2:39 left in the football game, Ted. That's a lot of time. And now remember, they still have, I'm going to call it 3 timeouts.
Sure.
Because on the score, everybody's looking at the 2, but now with the 2-minute timeout that they have, that's an extra one they have in their pocket. So that's a whole lot of football time when you got 3 timeouts and 2:42 on the clock.
And it's an eternity the way that Maverick McIver has been rolling, especially since those first 2 drives of the game where ACU went 3 and out and then turned it over. McIver's had a career night.
He's having a heck of a football night. All these kids that, now we talked about earlier in the show in the open, if you remember, which I'm sure you do because you're a very smart, intelligent man.
Yeah, I don't know
but for
about
the
that.
fans who haven't remembered this, 9 out of the 11 guys on offense here came from Power 5 teams, so they have experience.
And 6 of them came from Texas Tech. Martinez signals for the fair catch. More than 1,000 yards of total offense tonight in the season opener. This is no run-of-the-mill blowout of an FBS team over an FCS team.
Absolutely not. And this is, you can talk all you want to talk about, but this is 2 air raid football teams on display here, where it's like almost like a track meet. Now what you need to do, Texas Tech's got to come up with a stop. They want to win this football game.
Keith Patterson, ACU's head coach, told us this week, this is the most confident, tight-knit, talented team I've had in my 3 years here, by far. They went 5-6 a year ago. And they're taking Texas Tech to the limit here tonight in the season opener. Hicks bangs his way into A.J. McCarty for a gain of 3. McIver has thrown for 428 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, a career high in yardage.
That's absolutely awesome for him coming home and playing like this. The icing on the cake is going to be, can I drive him down here in this 2-minute situation to win the game?
Trying to find Hicks out of the backfield, and Jacob Rodriguez almost came up with it for Tech.
That's a smart football player. The reason why I said it is, you fooled me twice. They came back to that boundary wheel route, and he snuffed it out, did a nice job of getting to it.
3rd and 7.
I love this cat and mouse here. What's the offense going to do? What's the defense going to do?
McIver flings it, and it's caught by Martinez. A first down into Texas Tech territory. 23 yards.
Ben Roberts was in a great position there as their linebacker. And believe it or not, one little coaching point there. As he comes in there, he didn't roll into the receiver. He rolled the other way.
2-minute timeout / warning in Lubbock. This has been more than just a competitive game to start the season. FBS versus FCS. 170 miles apart. Abilene Christian going down I-20, up US 84, and giving Joey McGuire and the Red Raiders all they want. Former Red Raider Maverick McIver with a career night, 451 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he's got the Wildcats on the move again, down by 3 with under 2 to play.
It's very impressive. We're going to see what's going on here after the 2-minute timeout. But the crazy stat for me is Texas Tech's only scored 13 points in the second half.
And out of the timeout, Johnson stopped in the backfield. Imarion Banks, they call him Duda. Dropped him for a loss of 3.
Nice play by Banks. They needed that. Nice little tackle for a loss. Put him again at a disadvantage here, 2nd and long. Obviously, with the clock ticking, they still got their 2 timeouts, but everything's going to be a 4-down situation.
Texas Tech has not lost to an FCS opponent since 1998. 23 straight wins. That's in jeopardy. Swing pass to Johnson. And he's cut down after a short gain by Roberts and Rodriguez.
Well-designed play there. They ran trips to the boundary, ran the guys off. Tight end comes out in the flat. They dump it off to the tailback with a lead blocker over there to get some plus yardage here.
Under a minute to play. Abilene Christian still with 2 timeouts here.
Looks like Tech's playing coverage here.
McIver off his back foot, underneath to Martinez, and wrapped up inbounds by Jacob Rodriguez.
Big
4th
play
down.
by Rodriguez. Sorry to interrupt you there. And the reason why, there was open space. They ran the wheel route with the drag. This time McIver went to the drag route, and Rodriguez came up and made a very good sound tackle, rapid body parts. Okay, watch, here's the wheel route. Here's the double drag. Martinez coming across the ball, gets the ball. Excellent job of coming down, wrapping body parts, and holding that 4th down. And now they're in a critical 4th down situation. As they used to say, this is for all the marbles. Let's go!
And funny enough, ACU's new kicker, Ritzy Vase, he kicked a 54-yard game winner last year. Here, again, ACU just outside of that range. Yeah, you got to go for it on 4th and 4.
Absolutely.
So ACU calling the timeout here. 1 left for Keith Patterson. What do you draw up here, Steck? I know you're a defensive guy, but I got to ask you.
I understand. Personally, I have a feeling that DeRuyter is going to, Coach DeRuyter, defense corner, is going to bring some type of pressure, in my humble opinion. I'm going to go back to the old air raid here where they're going to run mush routes and spacing, get some crossing routes, or sit down right by the sticks. Here comes the stem move. Here comes the pressure.
Game at stake, 4th and 4. McIver to the sideline. It's Henry for the first down. Inside the 35, clock stops momentarily with the first down here inside of 2 minutes. And AC right back over the ball so they don't have to burn their final timeout. McIver finds Cleveland. And a flag is down behind the play. So the clock stops at 24 seconds. Flag down in the pocket there.
It's going to be interesting on his call. My eyes were downfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense in the 51 with a low hit. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the play. First down.
Wow, remember Jaden Cofield, the defensive tackle who had the 4th down stop earlier. What do you think, Steck?
I'm going back to my defensive roots here. I understand. To me, it was a one-step and hit him. I don't know the rule right now, to be honest with you. In pros, that's probably bad because it's below the knee. I didn't know if college has the same rule. But that kind of looked...
So a first down inside the 15 now. 24 seconds. Just a 3-man rush. McIver hits Martinez and tackled in bounds at the 5. And Abilene Christian calls its final timeout with 13 seconds.
Here's the thing about that timeout when you talk about situational football. They hit a nice job on the curl route, but he didn't get the first down. So now they took the timeout, and there's only 13 seconds on the clock. They put it back to 15 seconds on the clock. They got to throw to the end zone here. They got to make plays. There's not enough time to run the football and get back on the football here. Caesar looks it off, come over here, nice little curl route, sits down in the hole. Good job of coverage there. They hold him from the first down, and they lay on him a little bit. They got to take the timeout.
This is the theme for Abilene Christian all night. Former Red Raiders returning to Lubbock. McIver, Martinez, and quite a few others leaving their fingerprints all over this game. McIver has thrown for 485 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I hope what they did to that defense over there, they got to challenge the defense and the defensive front to go get pressure on the quarterback here, make them feel uncomfortable because there's only 15 seconds. Hold the ball a little bit longer. Now, are they going to play coverage or are they going to play man?
As Tech has opened up its renovated Jones AT&T Stadium, the anxiety levels have ratcheted up. And now timeout for Joey McGuire and the Red Raiders defense.
Good timeout. He wanted to see what formation he's going to come out in. Here's the cat and mouse game of college football. Obviously, they're in 12 personnel. Now, if I'm on the other side of the field right now, I'm not showing them the same formation. Because Texas Tech wanted to take a look at that formation. They saw FSL, which means they have 3 receivers into the formation, is into the sideline, over in the boundary. And it was 12 personnel with the big people. I'd come back out here and go with 10 personnel, spread them back out, and give them a different look, especially coming out of the huddle.
I mean, Tech has barely gotten any pressure on McIver all night.
I know, and I thought they would. Now, that's the one thing, though. The experience of Abilene is their offensive line. They had good, skilled players that came in and transferred, but that O-line's been together for 3 years now. But they're coming back out with the exact same look.
What is technically 2nd and 1 from the 4. Cleveland in motion. McIver up top to Cleveland. Incomplete. Chapman Lewis, the first-year starter, knocked it away.
Unbelievable defensive play for the zone. Comes out. He's got the advantage there. Ball's thrown a little bit late. Oh, he hit him right in the chest. That should have been a touchdown there for sure. Champ Lewis made a heck of a play on that to regroup.
Joey McGuire and his coaches say that Lewis reminds them of Rabbit Taylor, who was a 4th-round pick of the Cardinals. taking over that spot and coming up big here in the late stages. 3rd and a yard. McIver, fade to Taylor, overshot it. Taylor going up against Marion Horn, and it's 4th down with 7 seconds to play. On comes the field goal unit to tie the game.
Good decision here. You're the underdog. You're going to take it into overtime.
.21-yard try for Ritzy Vase, the grad transfer from Division II Midwestern State. And Joey McGuire wants Vase to think about it. Timeout Tech.
It's a good timeout. You can't take him home with you. Let him think. Understand he's been at Midwestern State. Hopefully it's something really simple for him to do. But in this environment, let him think a little bit longer.
Vase was 13 of 18 last year for Midwestern State there in Wichita Falls. Nailed a 54-yarder at the gun to beat Eastern New Mexico. So he's come through in a clutch situation. Can he do it here from 21? Sharp angle for Ritzy Vase out of the hold of Hugo Nash to knot it up. And Vase does just that with 5 seconds remaining.
We might be heading to overtime. You know, the one thing I will say about that is that was you brought to their attention. That was a very tough angle with that ball being where it's at and the goalpost coming from the right-hand hash as an impressive kick.
ACU is in its 12th year of Division I football here in the FCS. They are 1-15 all-time against teams from the FBS, the Football Bowl subdivision. The only win for ACU came 10 years ago against Troy, 38-35. And here they have a chance on the road against Texas Tech. Again, a game that has not been played since 1949, even though these schools are 170 miles apart.
It is very impressive. Coach Patterson's done a really good job of getting these guys motivated, getting them settled down. Homecoming for him as well. Coming back here, it was kind of cool before the game when I was talking to Coach on the sideline. And Texas Tech players were taking a walk. There had been 10, 15 kids stop, hug him, shake his hand. Much respect they have for Coach Patterson. And he's coming back in here. He's got his team ready to play, that's for sure.
Rule number 1 here. Don't kick it to Dre McCray. Angling it to Jordan Brown instead. To close out regulation, and Brown is twirled down at the 25. On to overtime to kick off 2024. Can you believe this?
Is this awesome or what? We got more football coming.
College football is back, and back in a big way here in the Big 12, kicking off 2024. Yes, we are in overtime between Texas Tech and Abilene Christian. Ted Emmerich, Dave Steckel, our entire crew. So you throw the game clock out the window now. Of course, if you win the coin toss, you want to play defense. You want to know what you have to do when you get the ball with your possession. Each team will get the ball from the opponent's 25. Now, you must start going for 2 after the touchdown with the second overtime, and then with the third overtime, it's just a series of 2-point conversions.
Correct, and they've done that a little time over time. I got a little trivia for you, which you know trivia is useless information.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough in 1995 when they instituted the overtime rule, was in the bowl season. of 1995. And the very first bowl game that year, we played Nevada, and that game went into overtime.
And how did it turn out?
We won.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Paul Harvey,
yes.
There you go.
So ACU wins the coin toss, and yeah, a few fans wearing purple and white here in Lubbock tonight. So Texas Tech will have the ball first here in overtime. Standout nights from both quarterbacks. Baron Morton, the undisputed starter entering the season for the first time in his career at Texas Tech, has thrown for 362 yards and a career-high 4 touchdowns. Joey McGuire's just wondering if his defense can stop Maverick McIver on the other side. Career-high 485 with 3 scores. So from the 25, it's Brooks, who has a 100-yard night, and he picks up 3 here to start OT. Lawson and Kohili bring him down.
It's time to run that guy. He's got to get after it now. 2nd and 7 situation, not worried about clock.
Morton pulls it and finds Mason Thorpe, the giant tight end, rumbling for a first down. First catch tonight for Thorpe, who goes 6'9", 270.
You're right. He was rumbling, but he was rumbling with some force and some strength. It's important to protect the ball.
Oh, looked like Morton wasn't quite ready for the snap. Gives it to Brooks, and he's inside the 10.
Taj Brooks, the ball carrier.
Right now, that O-line's got to take over here. You good, nice job here. They're running the counter OY here with the tight end coming back on the backside. Nice kick out block. Gives him a nice little seam.
First possession of overtime. Texas Tech led this one 15-0 before ACU came to life. Morton dumps it to Conyers, and Conyers is swallowed up by Kohili. So 3rd and 11 on the way. Thought Morton was going to try to hit Brooks in the flat.
Yeah, he went out in the flat there. It looked like a little wide delay there. See his screen to the tight end. Sniffed out perfectly by Abilene Christian's defense. Nice play by Roach. Big play here, 3rd and 11.
They bring 4. Morton dumps it. Douglas breaks a tackle, and he's got the touchdown. He broke free from Dorian Plumlee, and the Red Raiders are on top in overtime.
Nice job here with Barry. He comes in the pocket. They get pressure on there. Doesn't finish the feint. Scrambles to throw like we talked. Steps up. Keeps his eyes downfield. Throws a nice route to Douglas across the middle. Now he does his little dance in the end zone.
Douglas goes by Payday on social media. Payday just hit pay dirt. And Reese Burkhart with the PAT. 52-45. As Douglas has got the belt now.
He does. Belt in perfect time. Look at his eyes downfield. He steps up. He keeps his eyes downfield. Throws it to Douglas with a nice catch. Missed the tackle. Always comes back to that. He comes on into the end zone. Now the nice thing here, Ted, is Abilene Christian got to see what they got to get. So now they know they have to get a touchdown in the extra point.
I'll just say it now, Steck. If ACU scores a touchdown here, would you go for 2 in the win?
No. And I'm saying that because he hasn't gone for 2 when he was supposed to all night.
You're right about that.
I'm going to be shocked if he goes for 2 now.
I'm asking if you would do that.
But no, you know what? You're going to put the whole game in one play when you can go play another quarter. Or, excuse me, another overtime.
Now it's Maverick McIver's turn. The Red Raider turned Wildcat. He wants it all on the first play, and it's incomplete through the hands of Blaine Taylor. Remember the full extension in the second half. Couldn't come down with this one.
That's a rare play by Taylor. He's usually like Mr. Allstate, the good hands people there. Good throw, good accurate throw. He took his eyes off there at the last minute. Had a little bit of an alligator arm there coming up into the ball here. He had him. He went and took their shot. He wishes he had that one back.
McIver on the move, directing traffic, lobbing it for Martinez, out of bounds. McCarty was locked up on Nehemiah Martinez.
That might have been his worst throw all evening. You know, you got to try to keep it in bounds. Give your guy a chance to make that play right there. But it's okay. They got two downs to make a first down here. We were talking about him being a TV star, you know, MacGyver coming with his sharpshooters on the horse. Let's see what he's got in his gun right now.
3rd and 10. McIver. Taylor's got it. And he's got the first down. Corkscrewing inside the 15.
Excellent play on the mesh route. Taylor's tapping to come out. I don't know if that's good right now in this situation. I'd be over on the sideline and say, man, you're our go-to guy. You got to stay out there. Nice little drag right there. A natural pick by Martinez, and he sticks it up for the first down.
So Taylor checks out, Javon Gibson back in. A first down for Abilene Christian. Johnson, the Lubbock native, 2 touchdowns tonight, probing for a few.
Excellent push by the interior of that line with Hatton and Yanta. Feeling a nice push up the middle on a simple zone play.
McIver fires Johnson out of the backfield and knocked down by Horn at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for Abilene Christian.
The thing that's impressive about that's the 4th time they went to this play where they're having the drag routes and the tailback wheel, and they only defended it once. You see, Rodriguez couldn't get up over top like he did last time. Now you got 1st and goal at the 1.
McIver has surpassed 500 yards passing. 1st and goal here in overtime. Johnson straight ahead. ACU player signaling touchdown, and the official does too. The 3rd score of the night for the Lubbock product, Isaiah Johnson. ACU within a point. Decision time for the Wildcats.
Coming in unbalanced set here, simple little zone, get a big push up top. Unbelievable by the right side there with Thielen and pulling, and they just push things up inside there. It looks like they're going for 2. He didn't go for 2 all night. He's going for the win.
On the road, season opener, undermanned FCS opponent against Texas Tech from the Big 12. And the Abilene Christian offense remains out there. They're going to take a look at this. Tim Rich, the referee, heading all the way across the field to the viewfinder. You know, it took a while for the officials to peel back that onion near the goal line. They eventually signaled touchdown.
They did. And now the thing that's happening right now, which is really exciting to see, is he had to come all the way down to get the replay, okay? as you see the replay on our TV screen right now with the big push up inside there. Personally, I think he had a touchdown because his shoulder and the ball is across the line. Now the strategy's happening where both teams get like an unofficial timeout to talk about what's going on here with the two-point play. And now, which we all know, they've been practicing two-point plays all summer camp.
Yeah.
Okay?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So what is their go-to play on their two-point conversion, which we probably should have asked them that in our pregame meetings with them. Would have been really interesting if we had the inside skinny on what their two-point play was.
How about you draw it up? What would you go with?
Well, me personally, if I'm going on a two-point play, I would go speed option with the guy because they're expecting pass. I did it on the perimeter. Those receivers do a good job of blocking. But they're doing something here. I expect something going to the boundary because we talked to Coach earlier in the game about how he likes to go to the boundary. But they just put quads to the field. The question is, are they going to isolate Taylor into the boundary?
And two of those four receivers out there are tight ends. Of course, they're going to have timeout here. Each team with a timeout in overtime. And Texas Tech calls its timeout.
They wanted to take a look at that. Now, there's the other thing. When you get those two big tight ends out there on the perimeter, maybe a bubble with those two perimeter blocking, and now you got Blaine Taylor on the backside, the ex-receiver.
Keith Patterson told us this week, ACU's head coach, we are going to be aggressive all season long, and we want to make that statement in game one against an opponent like Texas Tech. They've hung 51 on the Red Raiders. They've already done that. And now going for two and the win here in overtime.
Yep. And you see Coach there, his headsets are off. He's like, okay, this is for all the marbles here.
This is
Don't need the headset. Where's our call? Let's go play it.
Once again, the four receivers to the top of your screen, including the tight ends, Castles and Brian Henry. The game hangs in the balance. ACU going for two. McIver hit. He goes down. Jaden Cofield with the sack. And Texas Tech survives in overtime to open the season.